Are you good? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
everyone. Are we live yet?
We are live. We are
Hi,
coming
guys. Hi, Doug Anton.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Oh
We're
my
doing
God. Okay.
good.
We
So
got
let me drop my news real quick. I
okay.
went for the. Was telling everybody I was going for the CAT scan, and Dana said today, she goes, "Oh, Kim, your hair looks good, and you did some makeup." She goes, "Last time I saw you, you looked dead." I go, "I thought I was," but anyway, the CAT scan came back great.
Well, good.
Heart's clear, arteries clear, no clogs, no anything. The valve is leaky, mild to moderate, to be watched. That's
Okay.
it. But that's why I get exhaustion. So I think I'm going to be around for a while. So I was in a much better mood today, and I got myself dolled up because the last time we did a live, I was in bed. In bed, remember? In bed.
Okay. So yes, you were sick, like sickly
Yes.
looking,
From the
depressed.
CAT scan. From the CAT scan.
Yeah, totally depressed. I heard about what Kim went through, so it makes a lot of sense. It was a very scary test they did on her. It wasn't like just wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I get it, and it was emotionally very draining. Now we do have people who watch that are dealing with health issues. So you guys, I always say it. You know, everybody goes through different moments in time where they're
Yep.
dealing with stuff, and it feels like whack-a-mole. You whack something, something else comes up. But you're not alone.
Dana,
We
you're
all
frozen. Okay.
Am
You're
I
good
frozen?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, we have a special guest on the show.
Yes.
Part of today's live.
Uh-oh, she's starting to freeze.
It's the one and the only Doug.
Dana?
Oh no. Am I freezing, Doug?
Yeah.
No, it's Kim. It's your internet, not
I
if
keep seeing mine. All right, good. You and Doug
Okay.
talk. I'll be right
So
here.
Doug knows, okay, you're not freezing. I'm not freezing. Doug will be the third party. Everyone's saying,
Okay.
hi, Dougie. Oh, Vanessa. Vanessa's in here. Hi. Look at how hot you look in that narcissistic abuse picture, Vanessa. I love
It
it.
looks great. Yeah.
I know. All right. So here's the gig. Kim and Dee and I survive on this show. We split the tips 50-50. You can send supers when the recording's going. We really appreciate it so much. And so Doug is going to help us out today. We're his philanthropy.
It won't be the first time he helped me out with philanthropy. That's for sure. Go
That's
ahead.
what I'm saying. All right. So the way that we're going to do things today is we're going to do some legal commentary because I wanted to get to the bottom of some things that I feel like are bullshit. And also, then we're going to jump to some New Jersey tea, which I got, and Kim has some as well. And then I'm going to play you a sound clip that I want you guys to hear to do with Rhode Island. And then we're going to do the recap. So that'll be really fun. Okay.
Okay,
So
let's ask Doug. What did you find for us, Doug?
Oh, you want to start with Beth Walker? Okay.
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
What I found, you asked me to get a copy of the complaint and other pleadings from the case. So I got a copy from the court, which is very amenable to attorneys. The court provided me with a copy of the complaint, the answer, which contained a counterclaim, and the answer to the counterclaim. Now, understand in legal proceedings and legal pleadings, the answer is nothing more than deny, admit, deny. It doesn't give you any information. However, when there's a counterclaim, it does give information.
Okay, so what's the original NDA? What was that all about?
Okay, so I did do a little research on it and found out some stuff. It's actually kind of interesting. So
Okay.
NDA was the result of a lawsuit between the parties that was sealed by the court and the parties. So the NDA was part of a settlement agreement between the parties that was the result of an initial lawsuit that was sealed. That lawsuit ended by way of an agreement to seal that lawsuit and the settlement agreement and not talk about it.
They settled it.
Yeah, they settled a lawsuit. Not the one we're talking about now.
Not Beth Walker's.
No, Beth
No.
Walker.
Beth Walker, the original NDA. The original NDA, how it started.
No.
Doug, origin, tell me.
There is a lawsuit that was filed, I believe, by Brian or his company that involved at least Beth either as a defendant or as a party that was sealed. That means we can't find any information about that case. Okay. that case, let's assume it said, I, Brian, claim that you, Beth, did XYZ. Or maybe Beth said, I, Beth, claim that, Brian, you did XYZ. And we're going to get to what that XYZ could be in a minute because something's telling about this. And they decided to settle the case. Doesn't say how much money, doesn't say if there was money, doesn't say anything. What it does say, it was a sealed case. It was done. And part of the settlement agreement was, we're not going to talk about that case, the allegations in that case, or anything else, because it was sealed, and we're not going to talk about anything moving forward. Then, and that was signed, I believe it was in March 6th. Yeah, March 6th, 2026, that case came to an end, and the settlement agreement was signed. Then the show airs, all the stuff is put, she believes, Beth believes, according to the pleadings, all the stuff was put out there on TV about her, that she's this bad person and so on and so forth, and that he violated the terms of that agreement. And therefore, she could talk all she wants. Now, her defense is in 3 parts. 1, you never paid me for an ongoing be quiet. There has to be consideration. Remember we talked last time, offer, acceptance, and consideration.
Yes.
You never paid me for now this is her defense. I'm not saying that it is a Bible one. This is what is called affirmative defenses. You never paid me to keep my mouth closed for everything, number 1. Number 2, you didn't keep your mouth closed. And under the law, if you speak first or you allow a TV show to go on with information that you know is protected, and you speak first, you can't come to the table with what's called unclean hands and then claim, I can speak all I want, but you are not allowed to speak, because there was a non-disparagement clause. So she says, so therefore, what I did was after the fact, and it's null and void now. And other things that constitutionally, under the Rhode Island State Constitution and United States Constitution, First Amendment rights, she can't be silenced. Now, what was the original lawsuit about? Now, this is interesting. You know me. I mean, I did all kinds of...
Go deep, baby. Go deep.
Okay.
Go deep.
So, the original lawsuit must have had something to do with... She made a claim as a defense and an affirmative claim in her counterclaim that fits under... okay. I broke this down in sections. Okay, so first of all, the lawsuit itself was what we call last minute, just throw it against the wall lawsuit. It's a 2-page lawsuit. In my opinion, it was a skeletal reactionary public relations filing. In other words, I'm going to show, it's like saying to the wife, look, honey, I'm the good guy. I'm trying to do what you wanted me to do, because it's a 2-page document.
This is Rula and Brian against her. Rula and Brian against
Brian.
Okay.
It's Brian. I believe it's
against
Brian.
Beth. Okay.
It's Brian against Beth, not Rula.
Yes.
Wait, what is the date of that one?
The lawsuit is filed. Let me tell you right now. The lawsuit, date of the filing of the lawsuit, I think it's in April 14th. April 14th, it was filed at 4:56 p.m.
Got it.
And in the complaint itself, which is this document here, I highlighted this section here. You can't read it, but what it says is, since the execution, so it's saying on or after March 6th, for valuable consideration, which is part of the argument, the plaintiff, Brian, and defendant entered into an agreement to be bound by a confidential settlement agreement and release that contains mutual and specific confidentiality and non-disparagement clauses. That means mutual. They're not supposed to talk about each other. Then paragraph 4. I mean, the complaint is literally 4 paragraphs long. All right. Since the execution of that confidential settlement agreement and release, the defendant, Beth Walker, has materially breached and continues to breach the confidentiality and non-disparagement provisions of said agreement by making public statements and social media posts about the facts and circumstances that formed the basis of the original lawsuit that culminated with the confidential settlement agreement and release identified herein. And there's a reference, the original lawsuit has since been sealed.
Right.
So when you look at what she filed the counterclaim for, it's somewhat telling in the sense that this tactical move by him to show the world, I'm going to stop her from speaking, I'm going to do the right thing to protect myself and my wife, it backfired because she then, it opened the forum for her to file something against him. It was his legal team was not smart to file this thing. He should have just kept his mouth quiet about it, because its skeletal reactionary position showed that it was just done on the fly to shut somebody up or make somebody happy. But it backfired spectacularly because the weak complaint was then met with a very strong counterclaim. So the issue about she filed what's called an anti-slap angle. If the court views Brian's lawsuit as a meritless that chills her constitutional rights, she could get damages against him. That's number one. So her counterclaim has more teeth than his claim, especially if he breached first. But she also filed a counterclaim under Rhode Island General Law 28-5-716. Beth specifically cited the statute. This is a Rhode Island Former Employment Practices Act, which limits the use of non-disclosure agreements in settlements involving allegations of workplace misconduct, discrimination, harassment, or sexual wrongdoing. This strongly hints that the sealed original lawsuit might actually be about Beth being an employee or subordinate of Brian's medical practice. So if that lawsuit had to do with her being a member of the medical practice and some level of sexual harassment or some level of wrongdoing, you cannot, under this little statute, which is a very interesting thing, which a lot of states don't have, you cannot silence somebody from that if it violated the parameters of those laws. So the NDA in and of itself would be non-viable under the law. It would be unenforceable under the law.
Because otherwise, bosses could make it so employees didn't report.
In attorney ethics, for example, if somebody says to me, Doug, I'm going to file an attorney ethics complaint against you, I cannot, under any circumstances, negotiate that away. I cannot say anything like, I'll give you the money you asked for if you drop the I not only have to report it to attorney ethics, but I have to let them know, and so on and so forth. Same thing with this. You cannot negotiate such a violation of that statute, which she's claiming as one of the reasons. Constitutionally, you can't stifle my rights to free speech, which you can under an NDA. That's what giving up those rights are. But this says you cannot stifle my ability by signing a document to talk about such discrimination that you did, if indeed that was part of the underlying suit. And the fact that her lawyers put that in there, it would open up a frivolous claim if it was frivolous, and they did not fire back in the answer to the counterclaim with this is frivolous in nature. So something, I'd love to see that underlying sealed lawsuit. I probably won't be able to get it, but
we reeled him in. We reeled Doug in.
So I have tea about this that I want to share. I heard that Beth Walker owns a percentage of the company.
33%.
You heard 33. Okay.
I didn't hear, I know for a fact.
Why would she own part of a company she was not?
He gave it to her, 33%.
How long was she working?
I don't know.
Years?
No, we don't think
she was with him for 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
He's been a doctor for a long time.
Yeah. So she's an esthetician. And she worked for his medical, they had like a medical place where they did like.
Not his main medical practice.
Right. So
maybe then that's what happened. And they decided, oh, that sounds more realistic. I've had cases like this. They opened this thing on the side, which is a good
money. It was supposed to be a med spa because that's what she does.
You had one of those, Kim. You had one of those for a while, right, Kim?
Yeah, I had,
That was great. Yes.
It was a great med spa.
Therapy and
another Doug, it was very good.
If they opened that together and then there was a lawsuit where he tried to get rid of her and then she might have said, no, I'm a part owner of that, then I could see whereas that might be a lawsuit. But the fact that it was sealed, I have cases where a celebrity gave somebody else herpes, we seal those, or we use pseudonames, where somebody gave somebody else an infectious disease. And the court will look at that and say, the public doesn't have an interest in knowing about this. So they will seal records like that. But they're not that hard to unseal because he is a public figure and he made himself a public figure. We had that same situation with the other guy in the other matter, the public figure, the New Jersey guy, and they make themselves a public figure. It's much more open. It's a matter of interest, public interest, and you can get access to some of those documents. If you want, I can try to get access to
we would love that.
you know.
Well,
whoever's calling in, leave a couple $100 and then maybe
I love
tip
for legal fees.
So what was I going to tell you? So I think that this probably had to do with the TV show, which is why they sealed it. So I think he was having an affair with this woman who worked for him, and it was coming out, you know, he was becoming a public figure, and they weren't sure how much of it was going to come out on the TV show yet, you know, so this was all done to mitigate Real Housewives of Rhode Island and this being on the show, and then her outing him because she was contacting him the whole time while he's with his wife filming the show. Like, you know,
he had her at his house, yes?
Yeah. Remember?
Many
times. And they were working together, and she was a partner in his spa, and she was, you know, under his post saying, you know, he's fun. And
well, the truth of the matter is if he didn't file this lawsuit, this probably would have never come about. A good cease and desist letter would have, you know, been able to have a discussion about it and say, listen, we're not together anymore. I'm trying to get back with my wife. I did care for you when I was with you. I mean, men who do this kind of thing, and it happens, I represent a lot of powerful men and women who do this kind of thing. There's ways to handle this. I mean, they obviously cared about each other, and you got to treat the person with respect, you know?
Well, I know how they broke up.
How?
Okay.
Oh, I want to hear.
Okay, so Rula and the husband, he was still with Beth.
The jail thing?
Then he gets arrested.
Right.
For the, you know, for the domestic, what they consider domestic violence because of the whatever. And he's in jail for like 4 hours, and he makes a phone call screaming and yelling about Rula, screaming and yelling. And then he tells Rula, I'm going to lose my license. Like, are you crazy? Like, I'm a doctor. I'm the father of your children. Rula comes to her senses, but she goes to the judge and says with or without prejudice. Which one is it that she can bring it back, Doug?
Without prejudice.
Without prejudice. I'm going to drop this now without prejudice. So she dangled it over his head, and it's still dangling. So how long, I don't know Rhode Island law, how long could she dangle this? And this is when he ghosted her. He ghosted her.
Probably a
he
condition.
Ghosted Beth right after this.
Rula probably made that a condition. You're done with her if you want me to. Yeah. However, I don't know exactly, and I'm not a licensed attorney in Rhode Island, but TROs, when they get dismissed, they're dismissed. There's no dismissed without prejudice. I can bring it again. They're just dismissed. However, if they're dismissed, you can, if there's a future TRO, you can bring up the things that took place as a matter of prior acts of domestic violence. At least that's the way it is in Jersey. I can't speak intelligently about Rhode Island law, but I don't know that she hung that over his head, the actual legal proceeding. Probably hung the other things that could have come out of that, like if he hit her, or I'm not saying he did, but if he did anything violent, the criminal aspect of it and things like that.
How about lying to Beth? How about possibly saying to Beth, I can't see you anymore because she'll bring the charges back? That sounds a little bit more like it.
She should have understood that I'm not going to hear from him. Maybe if we have a mutual friend, we can try to talk under the wire. But she should understand that at this moment, if she really cared for him, I got to lay low. But then again, a lot of women in that situation would be like, this is the time. Let me get in there. Let me do what I got to do to try to break this whole thing up. But it's not always. It's the husband usually always, if he's still living with and has a relationship with the wife, they usually always, because financially it's too much craziness to have to deal with.
Yeah. Right.
So this may be a good time to remind you, Kim, and tell Doug that there's a girl that he's been seen with around town besides Rula, who lives on Beth Walker's street. And some people are wondering if maybe that's not a coincidence.
Maybe she's a beard. Maybe she's a beard.
Like, in other words, he needs a reason to be in the neighborhood, you know, and this is his friend.
This guy better watch himself because there's a million eyes on him. And
So, I mean, it's possible that this is his way of, being able to communicate with
I
her.
doubt it. There's a lawsuit going on. I doubt they're communicating. I mean, her fight back on this is pretty hard. I doubt they're trying to have a court.
This is a legit throw down the gauntlet. Okay.
By her. By her. Yes.
Right. Because a lot of people were thinking that because Beth was so in love with him, because she was, that there was no way she was going to let him go. And that, she was just going to go quietly, like even this. Yeah, and so they were like, I'm wondering if it was real, the lawsuit, basically, or was it
his, I don't think was ever meant to be real. I think it was just to show, like, you better shut that girl up.
His was hers, but hers is very real, correct?
Hers is a fight back proper. It's something like I would draft. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's something that she probably listened to our live because Doug said
it does sound exactly like Doug said.
Exactly. And she was smart to do it. She was smart to do it.
She recorded you and played it for the attorney.
Good for her.
Very competent counsel. I mean,
who's the attorney? Who's Beth Walker's attorney?
Beth's attorney is right now. Beth's attorney is Frank Orabona Jr. and Joseph Murphy of the Orabona Law Offices in Providence, Rhode Island. They are a well-respected firm, as is counsel for Brian. It's just that the pleading that was filed, any lawyer will tell you, it's like a small claims court collection of, I painted your house for $350 on February 2nd and you didn't pay me $350. It's a 4-paragraph complaint.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense, because I think he probably made the call, like he thinks she's a dummy. Just call my attorney locally and say, hey, I only want to spend $500 on this. Like, I'm trying to do this really quick.
Yeah, and also Doug says to show Rula he was going to do the right thing.
I think that's exactly what took place.
Exactly.
I've had a situation that, Kim, you know about, or something. Yes. Either you're doing this and you love her, blah, 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 or you will do this for me today, right now, and so on.
Now.
And they will do, and then 4:56 p.m. on a day to file it was to get it done that day. I don't care, just file whatever you have to do.
Just file whatever you got to. Yep.
Well, why did Beth Walker? Isn't he a criminal defense attorney?
Well, I'm a criminal defense attorney. I do civil cases all the time.
I know, but the other gossip we heard.
What?
Kim.
Oh, okay. So the TikTok is about Medicare fraud.
Oh.
The TikTok. So
and she is
we're going to get the TikTok. This is alleged. This part's alleged. That there's a TikTok out there saying that whatever med spa or whatever he was doing with the feet, he's a foot doctor. There is Medicare fraud somewhere dangling around him. So, this dude's got issues. Okay, because
first of all, let me make it clear that Doug Anton does not support the rumors of the hosts of this show. And I
agree.
What's that paragraph they say?
Alleged.
What's that thing they say?
Let me tell you why I thought it.
I'm not spreading gossip. I will listen and I will give you an opinion, but I'm not pushing any of this.
No, but if you have a civil litigation and you hire an attorney that's well-rounded, such as yourself, Doug, that does civil and criminal, if you have any concerns across any front, you're going to be protected and they're going to know at least the origin story of the case and the information. That was really the purpose of bringing it up. And since there are rumors or concerns, because I know for a fact cast members have seen some of these TikToks, they're worried about it, not for their own personal sake, just for their cast members' sake. Like if there's any issues there, then it's a responsible thing to do from a perspective of that. That's all I was saying. And that's all Kim's really saying too. Yeah. So it wasn't really meant to be scandalous, that comment. Yeah. Okay. So let's now move on. Love this. Oh God. Wow. I could really go deep on that, but I won't. Okay.
So about this, or just really quick about this. So what will happen next is they will enter into a discovery period, or there would be, if Brian is serious about moving forward with this, and it wasn't just a let me file something that day, he should file a motion. And here's some free legal advice, I guess. He should file a motion to amend the complaint to add more teeth to it, because right now it's a 4-paragraph thing. He should file a motion to amend the complaint. Since the answer and counterclaim has been filed and responded to, it's too late, at least under Jersey rules, I think it's the same elsewhere, to just file an amended complaint. He's got to ask for leave of the court, which is freely given, liberally given, to file an amended complaint with more teeth if they're going to really legally amp this up. Now they both have good, viable claims. They're ready to go. They enter a discovery period where they have depositions, interrogatories, notes to produce, and that becomes costly. I don't know what Beth's financial situation is, but it's a smart move to try to price somebody out of the box, unless the firm's taking it on a contingency fee basis, which I wouldn't. But it could either
can Beth win anything in this?
Yes, that's why I said before she's suing
damages
statutes where she does get damages, and she's suing for defamation because he's outing her on
a
certain
TV
things.
show.
Yeah. And so she is suing for defamation. That's one of her counterclaims. So she very well could get money. And the counterclaim was drafted by a firm that is not adverse to accepting things on contingency fee.
So there you go. That's what I think. I'm like, she doesn't have that kind of money.
Right.
So yeah. Okay.
So I'm not saying they are, or maybe there's a hybrid of which they're doing.
So probably Brian will settle.
That's my gut. My gut is telling me that the council will talk, laugh it up a little bit about the craziness of this, and then say, listen, I think it's in everybody's best interest to be quiet. I offer my mediation services if they would like an out-of-state maybe it's in everybody's best interest, and to enter into a new non-disclosure agreement, which covers the bases of all these things, so that everything's done and quiet. And they can just move forward. Then they seal this case, and then they just move on, and everybody got to be quiet. But since he's in a public light, what if Rula discusses some things on the show that he has discussed with her? He's not violating as of that date. He violated before, so he's going to have to make a full disclosure. Listen, I did tell Rula XYZ. In fact, again, like with another case we had, Kim, you might have to even bring Rula into the settlement and non-disclosure confidentiality agreement to have her sign, even though she's not a party to the case. Rula, you will say nothing further. Bravo, you will not air anything else like this, which is what I've done in other cases as well. You got to tell everybody. Everybody got to sign on or else. Yeah. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Bravo don't like all the stuff that's going on.
No.
Still has liability.
Here, let me show you this. Oh, no. That's someone's personal story. But they haven't said her identity on the show. So how is he outing her?
I mean, under defamation law, if a person says enough that somebody can the reasonable person will reasonably infer who they're talking about, it still fits under defamation. Like if I say, I'm not going to say who, but somebody with the finger on the trigger is really an asshole and he's doing something to Iran. Everybody knows who I'm talking about, even though I love Trump. I'm happy he's doing what he's doing. But everybody knows what I'm talking about. So if, like, again, in the other situations, if you were to say that, Brian and the ex or the mistress he's with, I mean, everybody knows because of what's out there that they're talking about this person. A lawsuit with a woman, everybody knows, it's been in the press. So even though they don't say the exact name, they say I'm talking about the ex, I'm talking about the mistress, I'm talking about that girl who was at the house that one day.
Does it hurt her case that she's commented under posts seemingly wanting to be known as the mistress?
It's very interesting. These facts fit a lot of different cases I have. It's mostly, I found, retaliatory. All right. It's mostly retaliatory. And it's sometimes the fans put it in there. Yeah, foot to the fire. It's sometimes the fans put it in there. For example, something will happen on the show and the other party will not want to get involved at all. And then the press comes out. He must be a son of a bitch. She must be a tramp. So they're like, you know what? I'm going to defend myself. And they go to just defend themselves. I'm not, you don't know the whole story and this and that. And it's retaliatory or responsive. And that's not really defamation if the first person broke the rule first.
Wow. That's good to know, right, everyone? Isn't that good to
It's a
know?
fine line, so don't use that as a general rule.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't kill your case totally.
No.
But if somebody defames you first, you can defend yourself, even if it means defaming that. Doug stole $100 from me. No, I didn't. Kim stole $100 from me. We're both defaming each other if we didn't steal $100. But mine would be a little more excusable because I'm defending myself and trying to explain what took place.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you want to talk about Rosie and the firing one? Do you want me to take
number
you through
3
it?
on your list. We're skipping over this other Dino guy.
Well, no, we're doing Dino. You want to do that one next? Which one do you want to do next?
Number 2 and 3 off your list,
Okay, let's do
Okay,
Dino
all right,
next.
we can do it. We can listen. I'm going off a different sheet than you, Doug.
I used your numbers that you sent me.
I love it. Very good. Very good. Okay. So we'll jump to Liz. This was an interesting case. Liz McGraw. Liz McGraw was very kind to Kim D, which is why we didn't talk about this on our lives. I kept it in the Patreon, but
Liz McGraw came to my book signing. She gave me $100 for my $30 book, shoved it down my shirt. She was very cute. Came, she's sweet, blah, blah, blah. So she is my friend, an acquaintance. And I didn't want to say anything derogatory, but this is in the news. And this is we need some law questions answered. So here we go.
Well, and also it's been like she's been vindicated in a sense.
Well, explain to Doug how.
I will. I'm going to explain how she's been sort of vindicated. So it's a good time to talk about it. In addition to that, it's gone into the mainstream media. I covered this like a month and a half ago, when it was like deep, dark secret. Now it's kind of mainstream. So that's another reason we felt like it was fair game out here. Yeah. So, you want to go through the case or you want me to?
Me?
Do you want me to talk the case and then you give your feedback, or how would you?
Yeah, I mean, I have it here as well, but you can do it. Good.
All right. So, what ended up happening was the guy on the show, you guys see him, Real Housewives of Rhode Island. He's Liz's best friend. A lot of people think that she had an affair with him. She says, no, we were just tight. Dino, I want to say 2 years ago. Is it 2 years, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah. 2 years ago, he gets arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, drug conspiracy, perjury, obtaining property by false pretense, false statement to an agent, additional misdemeanors. Anyway, and he had other criminal issues in the past. This ended up being a huge embarrassment, unfortunately, for the Rhode Island police. Someone made a mistake. I'm going to get to that. But they put this huge amount of money into this investigation, thinking that it was going to be a RICO case. Like they were going to be able to find the person at this end of the crime, in the middle, and at this part. And they believed it was attached to a big crime family, mob family. So anyway, what ends up happening is the detectives get a huge break in their case. They get this phone evidence that they're super excited about. And in 1 month window from June 27 to July 26, this might explain Liz's trust problems. June 27 to July 26 of 2020, excuse me. Dino's phone is recorded 417 times, something to that effect. 1,000 calls and texts, 417 total contacts are recorded in his phone. And during these 1,000 calls and texts, they get, Liz is talking to him on Gerald McGraw's cell phone. And they start to build a case with source information that are like saying, what do you call them? I guess rats, or law-abiding people. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. So whatever. Anyway, these guys, source 5, tells Detective Matthew Lynch that he suspects that Elizabeth McGraw was fronting or supplying money to Dino Giulimetti for large-scale cocaine shipments and that McGraw was substantially compensated from the profits of this cocaine operation by Giuliani and his associates. So this source says Liz McGraw is obviously integral in this thing. And then the cops get their big break with the phone evidence, which really seems to help them. Now, there's other tea that comes out surrounding this. I'm going to read this to you now, so I read it properly. This is from a gangster report, June of 2025. It's called the Gangster Report. Per multiple sources, McGraw once dated Giuliani. Surveillance logs show Giuliani chauffeuring Patriacca, the underboss Matthew Goodlookin' Matty, Giuliani, to meetings on Federal Hill, including the Toscan, I guess like Tuscany, social club. Giuliani attended 2021 and 2022 Providence mob Christmas parties. They're good parties. No, I'm kidding. Undercover officers were controlled cocaine purchased. Undercover officers made controlled cocaine purchases and traced supply lines to the Cayman Islands, which oddly is really close to the Rhode Island docks. The Cayman Islands, you could take a boat there and back in 7 days, get whatever you need, and take a boat back for another 7 days, and maybe 3-week trips. You'd be in and out the Cayman Islands and Rhode Island.
Drug route.
Yes, it is. And then cannabis license conflict. So then this other thing happens. Go Local, the newspaper, which, by the way, all of this is coming from, flags, how did the state of Rhode Island approve Gerry McGraw's retail cannabis license while an RISP was actively investigating his wife's alleged involvement in cocaine financing? So unusual. Would give him a drug license that's legal when you're investigating him for cocaine trafficking? That's odd. Anyway, they never could.
Shut up, Dana.
They never could.
Yeah,
Innocent until proven guilty is what
yes,
couldn't
exactly.
figure that one out. They were like, "This is escaping us."
They could not have stopped her. It's innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
There
That's
you
right.
go. Okay, so anyway, so then a weird incident happens at Liz McGraw's phone. The Cranston Police Department responds to an incident at the McGraw home involving Dino Giuliani and refused to release the report under APRA. And nobody really understands why that report wasn't released after this disturbance at Liz McGraw's house. Then there's a connection to organic bees. Here it is. RISP links Giuliani as a consultant to Organic Bees Cannabis Company. A group text between Giuliani and Raymond Jenkins references courtesy extended from both Gerald and Elizabeth McGraw to resolve contractual issues. Jenkins, who is a politician, later pleads nolo to perjury. So it runs deep. Anyway.
Okay, so what happened now with Liz's case? So Liz's case has recently been dropped because.
Okay, this is the really fun part.
This is the latest.
This is the latest. So why we don't have a problem talking about this is that Liz has essentially been cleared because what happened was, for some reason, Liz, they tried to use this phone evidence to bring a case, I guess, against Liz and maybe Gerald, I don't know. And when they went to do this, Liz said, you can't use this phone evidence for some reason against me. I don't know, maybe it had a problem with the warrant or something. But when they couldn't use the phone evidence in the case, they couldn't prosecute against her. Now, Dino is still being prosecuted. They just had like a case hearing, I think 3 weeks ago. And now it looks like they're going to be moving forward with his case. But Liz, I think the way they described it in the local news was, a big swing with a miss or something like that was the way they described it. So what do you think?
Okay. Kim, shall I?
Yes, you shall.
All right. So First of all, this Dino is my kind of guy. I mean, I'm a criminal defense attorney, so I dig this guy. So give me but he's a good guy as far as I go with my type of clients I have. So basically, although you say she's out of harm's way, the connection is still trying to be made. He's facing a life sentence. So there's no question that he has some desire to resolve his life sentence. And he's going to get a proffer session, I'm sure, very soon, if he hasn't had one already. A proffer session is what we call like a queen for a day, where the U.S. attorneys of the state bring you in and they sit you down and they say, okay, this is what we got. You got your dead to rights. We have all this other stuff. So you're going away forever. And prior to sentencing, we have to come up with some kind of resolution. And they and they ask him, tell us everything we want to know. All right. And you get a quote unquote level of immunity. If you lie to us about anything, or if you cease cooperation at any time, everything you say right now will be used against you. However, if you don't fail to abide by the terms of this agreement, then that will be used in your favor, and we'll give you a 5K letter, 5K1-1 letter, which is reducing from the minimum guidelines for sentencing and so on and so forth. So they're going to try to enter into a Rule 35 or 5K cooperation agreement with him if there's a connection to be made. Now, from what I read, it seems that the allegations that made up the warrant they think may have been a part of hearsay, and therefore it should be quashed. I don't know if it was, but that evidence of those communications exists. Eventually, the state or the government will find a way to get that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did say that.
It's legal pleadings. It's a matter of time because it is evidence or items that will lead to discoverable evidence unless there was an absolute defect in the warrant. But otherwise, it should be able to be admissible. But either way, at this point right now, cannabis, even at the state level in the stores, is still somewhat of a cash business, it seems, in Rhode Island, which could be the front for laundering money, and that seems to be the thing they're looking for, right? So, in my opinion, they're going to sit him down, and if dirt took place with what he's facing, now, do you know if Dino served time before? Has he ever done a stint?
I don't know, but he had like 4 different run-ins with criminal proceedings that had to do with assault and things like that. Yeah.
Because if he's a mob guy and he's done time, he might just be quiet and not do anything if it affects other mob guys. But if it's just not affecting other mob guys, to save himself, if it deals sweet enough, and if there's enough dirt on Liz and her husband that they were doing XYZ, they'll lose a cannabis license, they'll do this, they'll do that. That the state or government might have backed off now is not indicative of the innocence of a party. It's not indicative of the lack of guilt or guilt. It could just be that we haven't made our case yet. We will put more together and see what we come up with. There has not been a judicial finding that I'm aware of that exonerates anyone. There may have been a, I don't even know.
There was a report
Yeah.
that was done, and they just said they weren't able to get the phone records admissible. And so as a result, they felt like they couldn't build the case without the admissible phone records.
Okay,
The wiretapping was huge in the case. It was like
he's been charged with something?
Dino is, he's going.
Dino. She's been charged?
No.
Okay.
He was being investigated, and and they released. What happened was it was this like ongoing investigation that was.
I get all that. So here's the thing you have to look about admissibility. The only person that admissibility would even be raised against right now is Dino. There's nothing that would be applicable where the state would say, we got this information, it's non-admissible, so we're not going to charge her. There's no charges against her. Admissibility wouldn't even be an issue because there's nothing pending against her. Nobody would ever have that. So whoever gave you that report, it's a wrong report.
Let me see if I can. It came from
maybe it's just being read.
It was the local paper covering the result of the investigation that the police released, I guess, regarding Liz McGraw's involvement, because they were the only ones following this case.
It just doesn't sound like the police would not, and the police would release what the prosecutors, U.S. attorneys would be involved in, saying that we've done something and we haven't found enough to charge. That would be all.
That's what they said.
Yeah, they wouldn't give up. We've done something. We're shit out of luck because what we did was wrong and it's inadmissible, so now we can't use it. They would never say that.
Something happened where they tried to admit it. Let me see if I can find it while you're talking. Go ahead and talk first.
I mean, unless somebody tried to go to the grand jury and admit something to the grand jury, but there's no inadmissibility problems in the grand jury unless there was a Brady material. But that's so most likely it was they wanted to add extra charges to Dino maybe, and it was inadmissible, but I'd have to look into that a little more. But right now, he's in a place right now where he's got to try to save himself and not go to jail as long as they want him to go to jail for. And to do that, if there's dirt on the other one, he may deal with that, and he may enter into a cooperation agreement. And
a plea deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and cooperation agreement is a little different than a plea deal, but yeah.
Why? What's the difference?
Well, a plea deal is something that, like, you make an agreement that your penalty will be this. In a cooperation agreement, the penalty is already set on what it is. Cooperation only gets a reduction down from that penalty. You
mean the points at the end, the point system?
Yeah. So
the video game part.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for him to be successful, he's got to say this. Okay, she knew exactly where the money came from. She helped me move it. And without this insider witness, it's not going to be of any use to the state or the government or the prosecutorial authorities. But if he does say that, they might be looking, but he's still going to do time. They're not going to just give him a walk. They're just going to get him a downward departure. So
he'll get like points off the video game, and then they'll figure out what his punishment is based on his point structure.
But if he does have a lot of dirt and he puts together a whole cash ring, nobody's been murdered in this case, so the government has a little more flexibility. So if he puts together if there's a whole master complex thing going on, which doesn't seem like there is, then he could get significant reduction in his time.
This is wild.
Okay, let me ask you the big question that goes on in my mind.
It would appear that the phone records were, I guess, requested by his legal team to be dismissed, which I guess they not the case, like that inadmissible, and that they got like a win on that. And then I guess the feeling was that without those phone records, it would be difficult to bring Liz McGraw into the case. But I think what you're saying is accurate. I think what I'm understanding is this is all in relationship to Dino versus Liz McGraw. So
there's nothing pending against you.
Yeah.
Okay, but wait a minute. But supposedly there are mob ties here with him. Supposedly.
Yes, I was going to say that.
So, I mean, let's face it. Okay, you're facing time in prison, or you're like, who do you rat out? You're certainly not going to rat them out. You're not going there. You're not going there. So this case to me is really intricate, and there's a lot of different things that we have not sat and discussed here. When you have these outside influences like the mob, and I heard the mob there is pretty tough. Like everyone keeps saying there is no mob. Yes, there is.
No, there is.
Yes, there is, and there's certainly one there. So Doug, off the top of your head, and thinking about that, let's just put them into play. We don't know who they are, whatever. We're not talking about anyone in specific, but let's say there are ties. Now, what do you think Dino would do?
Well, if the ties that he's been accused of and charged with XYZ, if to get out of XYZ, he needs to talk about this other thing with the Liz and the cannabis and the laundering of money, and the government wants that, and this other fraud. I think there was a fraud thing involved with some kind of, is that this one? Maybe there's some kind of other healthcare facility. Maybe it's the other one. I don't know. But
no, that's Rula.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then by ratting on Liz or by giving a cooperation agreement, it doesn't affect the mob guys at all. In fact, it's better.
Right.
It takes more thing. Or if he was acting outside of any a hierarchy of authority, saying that you're a soldier for us, do XYZ. So, which is, although he's been tied to a mafia type situation, it doesn't look like the criminal stuff has been tied to any organized level of his involvement. So you're saying that something recently, because as of last night, when I looked up talking about the 1,000 call log and the co-conspirator exception, a defense attorney for him in this situation would be moving to block these messages as inadmissible hearsay. However, there is a co-conspirator exception to the hearsay rule, which would probably be able to get them in. But if you're saying the press has just released something that...
Well, this I don't know how reliable it is. That's the problem.
Okay.
It's called the Gangster Report. And there you see that, right? Let me read you the headline. Sorry, it's backwards. GR exclusive, Rhode Island State Police efforts to bust alleged Providence mobster Dino Giolimetti, Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Liz McGraw, and dope probe fizzles. Case is officially closed. And then it's under a paywall.
Yeah, I don't.
Doug, what are you seeing as of last night?
And it's all mob. It's all mob.
Yeah. I don't know that that's accurate. I mean, the text messages. The
last I heard was, and I looked at the court record, was they were having a case discussion, where they set out dates and shit 3 weeks ago.
Under Rhode Island Rule of Evidence 801, statements made by a co-conspirator during the course and in furtherance of a conspiracy are completely admissible. If the prosecutors can establish a prima facie case that a drug and laundering conspiracy existed, every single one of those $1,000 calls becomes a weapon. 1,000 calls becomes a weapon used directly against them in front of a jury. So I don't see where anybody would make the determination it's inadmissible unless there was a hearing and the court has found that for some reason it's been held inadmissible. But
it's possible that
which would be very interesting. Yeah.
I mean, this case is really interesting, even from now. Okay. So before we got this kind of information from the mobster periodical, from the industry mobster magazine outlet, we were in a place that was very different. What we did was we thought to ourselves, okay, Liz is obviously part of this wider investigation. So they've been for a long time watching a bunch of people, and they didn't want to take Dino into his hearing yet because they wanted to see what else they were going to grab before they did it. Because usually when they indict in something like this, they hit all at the same time, because otherwise it gives time for people to get a call like, I've been interviewed. They've showed up, and then everybody hides stuff, things, whatever. Right. So the prosecutors do it like a surprise, and they hit everybody at the same time. They do this even in small crimes. They do this. Okay. But in this case in particular, if it was really including the mob and just Liz as an outlet within this, right? Like as a money launderer, as a front man or whatever through her drug license, which apparently Dino's relationship got her, which is why there was this, I read that whole part to you. I guess the idea is that they haven't done it yet, which is why it was taking so long to move Dino's, not to actually criminal cases take a long time, but his criminal case was taking a particularly long time. And so the idea was that maybe they were still digging.
Yeah, my opinion, though, from looking at it, is that they don't have anything against Liz enough to show money laundering or a bigger scheme, because the investigatory authorities are pretty good. Even if the text messages were inadmissible, they still would give direction to possibly other evidence that could have been found even without the text messages. It might be a fruit of the poisonous tree argument, but rarely do they could they prove that everything would be fruit of the poisonous tree. But I don't think there's anything against Liz and so on and so forth. And here's the worst thing.
Well, and their source must have been crap, because why wouldn't they just rely on the source? The guy who said, I know for a fact.
The source has to be, more than just, I think this. So they probably investigated, hope that it was true. But here's the interesting thing. If it is true, one, he's got to want to make the connection, because they seem to not have been able to find out for themselves.
Right.
So if he's willing to do that and make the connection, and say, yeah, Liz. Okay, now Liz is going to say, like they do in the movies, you're bringing me down, I'm bringing everybody down. She might then backfire and say, well, his bosses, the mob guys, XYZ, they put me up to X, this kind of thing. And that's not going to go over very well also.
No.
Okay, so I got the $1 million question for you.
Yeah.
Why would Liz McGraw, before this is resolved, go on Real Housewives of Rhode Island with her man, who fishes a lot, has a boat, and it could be called out by the cast members and really put her like in the line of fire?
Because it's BS. They don't have enough. They don't. That and I say this with pride as a defense attorney, because she's actually innocent. She didn't do anything wrong. Just knowing a former mobster, Danny Provenzano, great guy. I've talked to him several times. So he's been involved in John A. Light. They've been involved in some things that are not so great. And doesn't make you, although you are around big dogs, you are not in the mob, and you don't, this kind of thing. So it doesn't make a person like me. I'm around these people all day long. It doesn't make me a
mobster, yeah.
So on and so forth. So I believe that she just knew. From what I'm seeing, it doesn't seem that there's much there. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so you believe that was all kind of BS, and so she was sort of hearsay brought into it.
Yes, it's enough to make an investigation, but an investigation would, reap some results, and there have not been any tangible results that I've seen thus far.
I think the main thing that Doug just said was, just because you hang around with people that are doing that doesn't mean you are either.
Like the Epstein
file. What I mean? I wrote a book,
file.
My Life with the Big Boys. I started with my stepfather since I was 2 years old, along with my husband, everything. I had nothing to do with it.
I know. I guess what's interesting about this is there's a moment in the show I keep thinking about, which Kim knows I was like haunted by this moment, which is she's sitting on the dock and one of her cast members calls out something. Well, and she pretends that what the girl was talking about was her doing a moment where she was going to cheers with Dino on camera. Dino's this guy, right? So Liz was going to cheer.
But she had Dino at all her parties.
Yeah, so Dino was So Dino, this guy in the investigation with her, is loud and proud on season 1 with Liz McGraw. So which is wild because he is in a criminal situation. I don't know.
But I think that's all the more what Doug is saying. That kind of leads me to believe if I'm innocent, I can have whoever I want come to my parties. Like Doug said, we hang around with John A. Light. We hang around. I'm around a lot of them. That doesn't mean I have anything to do with it.
Well, you know what I was going to say is there's this scene and Kelsey is about to say something
about the ongoing. She goes the ongoing. So the ongoing investigation. But like Doug said,
I think she was going to say the ongoing investigation. Go do the tours with Dina.
This was on the show.
Yes.
But Liz did this.
What people say, though, it could have been the ongoing DoorDash guy who's not here.
Hold on. That's what they made it be. But I'll tell you what the tell was for Kim and I, just being on the show. Okay. When you're on the show and someone's about to say something you don't want and the cameras are everywhere,
you run away.
There's one thing you can do, and that is shut them up, interrupt, change the thing as quick as you can. In her case, she jumps up, interrupts her, and runs for a room where there's no cameras.
Right.
And then she gets up into the room with no cameras, and we don't know what happens. But I'm going to guess it was something like, that.
But here's the thing, though. I'm sitting here, even though, and like I said, I'm friends with Liz McGraw. I'm glad that this conversation went this way because I'm gonna 100% side with Doug on this because I've been in this position since I was 2 years old. If I was guilty of anything, I certainly wouldn't be having the person with me on international TV. I would stay far away from. If I was innocent, I would say, like I do to the world, F you, I'll be with whoever I want. I'm going to have them at my party. I'm going to have them for dinner. I'm going to have them play with my dogs. Me and Doug are going to go out to dinner with them because we have nothing to hide. So I'm going with Doug saying that she felt she was innocent from the beginning, that the investigation was going nowhere. They had nothing on me. And you know what? I'm going to be really shoving up there. I'm going to have them over.
And also, I will say this, getting a cannabis license, I've done several of them, as you know, in the state of New Jersey,
Yes.
in New York. It's a privilege. It's not a right. And there's a lot you got to go through to get there. So they vetted her out. So that means she had no non-cannabis related criminal conduct. Maybe she had a cannabis related thing because you're allowed. That's really why the whole reason why cannabis was allowed to be recreational use for people. But so once you get a cannabis license, I have a lot of clients who have been involved on the other side of the law. You talk to them like, hey, listen, I'm going to go to this concert. I'm going to scalp tickets. I'm not going. I'm not scalping tickets yet. Because scalping tickets, I mean, they are now walk even a finer line. Because they don't want to lose what they have. And this is a huge cannabis company in Rhode Island. Yeah. So I would say that she would be even more. Now, the only thing that could differ than that is this: love. If they actually had a physical relationship and they cared for each other in a different way, then, which I'm not saying took place, and I think everybody's denied that took place, then sometimes you see
everybody denied it.
Yeah, why would that person do such a thing? Oh, there was more to them, and people do stupid things sometimes in relationships. But since that doesn't exist, nothing else exists to show that she's just, innocent until proven guilty. It makes perfect sense of why he's the one holding the bag for his own alleged conduct. And there's nothing for him to tell about anybody else. And there's no offer that's going to be able to be made. No 302, no anything. And they'll probably just rest and die right there.
Listen, I think Dino's going to go away for a long time because he ain't throwing those people under the bus.
Well,
but there might not be any people to throw under the bus, if he.
No, I'm not talking about Liz and Gerry. I'm talking about
the mob people. Yeah. What I was going to say is I thought of a different theory, which was just for fun, for entertainment purposes. And that was that I was thinking maybe Liz wanted to be loud and proud and show anybody that might be concerned about her that they have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, people do that sometimes. When
if I can't get a message to somebody way up at the top of something that I might want to get a message to, I might go on a show to say, I'm solid. Here's Dino. I love him. He's my bro. I got his back no matter what. That means I got everybody's back. Look how loyal I am. And here is our defense, really, right? I like to fish.
And I have clients that do this kind of thing for fun sometimes. They get wrongly accused of something, not even charged, but they sort of try to bring them in tangentially, and they have fun with it. Did you ever do this with that person? A lady doesn't tell. Or sometimes I have one client who wears an ankle bracelet. And it's not a real ankle bracelet. It's like a toy. She wears it when she goes out because people are like, oh my God, she must have got arrested and she must be on a thing. And she just has fun with it.
Is this
and she says that guys come up to her more with an ankle bracelet. Like, yo, this girl.
That's hysterical.
She has fun
I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad.
So Liz ends up unscathed on this one, you guys. We took this to the left and we went to the right.
Yeah, very
All right,
good.
well, let's talk about this one.
Good for being innocent, Liz.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations, Liz. You dodged the bullet on that one. All right. Okay, so this isn't it. I want a different one. I don't know why this always does this. Okay, so here's the receipts that Rosie posted. Rosie allegedly was fired from her job for sleeping with a coach who then moved to Washington, allegedly because his wife made him as part of I'm going to stay with you only if we move to Washington. And basically, this was all over Rose. And she was supposed to get fired. So Rose, then it gets called out on the show that she slept with 2 married men, one at her station. One is this coach that's very famous. This, by the way, is a well-known lore in Rhode Island. Like, everybody knows this story. I'm not kidding. This isn't like some little, before the show, everybody knew the story, just to give you an idea. Okay. Famous. So she posts these receipts, which is like an email and part of her release agreement. Okay. I sent you a copy of this receipt in particular. It's 2-in-1. You see it?
Yeah.
And I wanted to know your take. If that's truly a receipt, that you didn't get fired for having an affair with a coach. Is this a receipt to rely on? I want to know.
All right. I'll just say this. Leaving work or getting fired is a very simple thing. Kim, it was a pleasure working at your anesthetic thing, melting away people's fat. I don't believe it's for me anymore. I'm going to leave. I can give you a 2 weeks notice, or I can leave now, whichever you'd like. Is that okay with you? Yes, it's okay with me. Thank you. Shake hands. Goodbye.
Right.
That this involves so much other stuff is indicative. Controlling the narrative, especially in the situation like this, is a key, which was a key term to the settlement, typically in high-profile media roles or high-risk separation where both sides want to avoid mutual disagreement. Controlling the narrative dictates that something else is underlying why the separation took place. So I don't believe, from looking at this for 1 second, it was her just saying, I got medical issues, I got this, I got that, I'm leaving. There's definitely more to it. But the employer usually will say, I've had to fire many people. And when I fire them, I say, listen, I will destroy your career, all right, and fire you, and then deny unemployment. And I'll say for cause, because in like the R. Kelly case, because you talked to the press and you took $1,000 to say something to the press that you shouldn't have done. Or you sign this letter resigning and go about your way. I'll go about my way, and we're done. And that's what usually happens. Even in the situations where you have a non-amicable break. So clearly this is a non-amicable break. Something took place. So the reality of a mutual separation agreement is that getting fired looks real easy in the real life world. And here, definitely something else took place. Now, what took place? I don't know if it's about the gossip that people say took place, but something definitely took place.
Yeah, you know what? My research backed that 100%. That's why I brought it up, because basically that was my research, that this was not, bottom line, this was not proof, whatever it was, that this was an amicable breakup over simply a medical issue. This was much bigger, much greater, and there was more surrounding it. And also it is unusual that she didn't stay in the same industry right after. I mean, she went, I think, DJing or something. Perhaps it was a choice. I don't know. Or
there's also within the document or within the thing a phrase of material inducement in Rosie's receipt 2 about the coach that you sent me. This tells us that the employer is legally trying the validity of the entire contract. He's tying these things together. And the payout associated with it to her claim that she left due to health reasons. What's that saying is, we are only entering into this deal and giving you these benefits because you made this specific representation. Now, if she wants to show receipts and open this, show a document that says, look, I resigned on my own, here's my receipts, and it makes the company, especially a giant company like Sinclair, look bad, that could violate the terms of the confidentiality, and they might come and say, well, we didn't want to say this before, but since she's saying she did nothing wrong and it's making us look bad, we're now going to tell you really what took place because we're allowed to. Same thing with like the other situation with the first case we went over. She needs to have both sides need to have strict adherence to the contractual terms. Otherwise, if one starts talking and even implies something that the other one doesn't want, they have the right to go out there and correct that in the public eye.
So now you know why she has to swear up and down on Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Never met him.
I never met him. I don't know him. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't, because based on what you just said, it's death.
It could be. It could be. Yeah.
That was really good. Any other stuff on there? You're really good today, Doug. I love it.
Really good all the time.
Excellent.
You are.
So
two out of two. Two out of two.
Doug, don't get upset what I'm going to say next. I don't think you will.
Okay.
But I know you're very protective of me. So I just want you to be aware that the person that you represented, that I suggested for you to represent her.
Understood.
Right. The person that they were going against.
Yes.
He has decided to use one of his mouthpieces, J.R. Bravo Addict. Is that what she's called? J.R. Bravo Addict?
J.R.
Rosenberg. Yeah. So she put out, I had a flyer.
She is J.R.?
Yeah, J.R. Bravo Addict or
Is a woman?
J.R. Rosenberg. So that's Louis.
We've been told she's a woman, yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
we
she's
see.
Louis Ruelas.
Yeah, so she's
Like
supposedly from Australia, but she
Yeah.
is his. No matter who she is, she's his mouthpiece. So there was the whole article that came out with me and Rula, you going at each other, which exploded because I shared her DM, and so this mouthpiece of Louis comes out and says, let's take Kim D down. So I took that flyer and I said, try it. So that to me is like, that made my day. Just like Rula's DM over Memorial Day made my week. I shake with joy because I love when people come at me. And now you could understand, Dana, sometimes when I like this, because you see someone who's like a brother to me. You see how brilliant and like, there's just no, first of all, you're not going to take me down for any reason, but that gives me
You
joy.
don't even need me, but when it gets to legal stuff, yeah. So this
Exactly.
actually has nothing to do with my other client. You're just using.
Exactly. 'cause I want
He
you
was
to-
just
okay.
tying it in.
Okay.
Tying it in. So with
Otherwise,
that-
we would have done this without you, Doug.
Yeah, because
Right.
I don't want to get involved with that.
All right,
stuff.
so
If you
listen,
resolve
Doug,
that,
you
wait,
gotta
but I
go.
just want to say one more thing.
Doug,
and I'm
it's
done.
about to get dirty, honey. You need to go.
So no. So the waterboarding will start.
Oh no,
Probably-
no, stop. We're not ready. Doug needs to go for this
No,
part.
we're not now. I'm just saying.
No, I want to. You're not being clear on what you mean, and I want to make it clear.
Well,
So let's.
no, we're going to make it clear that since they drew first blood and said, let's take Kim D down, which we know is never going to happen and cannot happen. They drew first blood to me. So it opens the door for me to do it first. So now, but the way I do it is a drip, drip, drip. Okay. So every week he and his wife can be concerned about the next thing I'm going to drop. And we'll see who can take who down. That's all. It's a game to me. It's all a game.
I know it is. Is it all possible that there's a restaurant named Down and they were saying, let's take Kim to dinner at the restaurant Down?
They're going to hope so. They're going to hope so. Because
I don't know
you know
why.
what?
I don't know why some people want to keep putting feuds out there. It's ridiculous.
Well, we're about to put a few out there. So, Doug, on this note, I think we'll say goodbye.
I love you,
Right.
Doug. Thank you very
Doug.
much. You're so
Thank you very
entertaining.
much.
Okay,
Very
you
much.
guys, you ready to get dirty?
Thank you. Let the waterboarding start. Let the waterboarding start.
All right. So, you guys, what Kim is trying to say very clearly is things have changed yet again in the landscape.
And I had nothing to do with it.
Right. So Kim was, sort of sitting on the side, happy to be friends with Teresa and Louis for a period of time. It seemed like it was okay. They didn't really follow up with the things that they said they were going to do for Kim as a friend. But in the end, she was cool. She was just going to roll with it. But then the Louis accounts really started to go for Kim. And we know their Louis accounts. We know details that no one, you just know, right? So I'm going to show you some, actually. How about let's do one?
Can't wait.
Okay.
Can't wait.
So let's do one, not that.
Okay. You win.
Okay.
It's my favorite part of the show.
All right. So here it is, right? So this is a nice lady, Real Housewife of Westchester. And she's, showing one of our clips about blogging or whatever.
Yeah, she came to my show. I know her well, Christy. She's a sweetheart.
Very
And
nice.
Right. Very nice girl. And
Yeah.
go ahead. And then let's see.
And
who
so if
comes
you
on.
look really close at the bottom here, it says Teresa Giudice, not true. Okay. So Teresa Giudice is
While
saying,
she was on her girls trip.
right, which is bullshit. This was
Right.
not Teresa Giudice, even though it's her account, because Teresa was actually here filming, okay, when this was happening. And I know that for a fact. All right. And so this person is Louis. This is Louis. Teresa Giudice, not true. Notice how he uses two words, right? Because he doesn't want to give any hints that it's not Teresa.
Right.
And then it's him. So the less he says, the better. Not
Correct.
true. Right.
Correct.
So that's that. Now, this was really funny. There's a story behind this picture, which is why I have it. Okay, listen. So see this lady? This is Diva. This is
Yeah.
Margaret's, or is this Diva? Which one's Diva? This one or
I
this
don't
one?
know.
All right, one of them next to Teresa's Diva. Okay.
If you show me the picture, I'll be able to tell. But one of them doesn't matter. One of them is Diva.
All right. So but what I was told, this is the tea, is that Louis listened to our live a few days ago. And remember, I was telling you, on Friday, I was telling you that Teresa was kind of coming for Diva because she's Margaret's friend, the only one that Margaret brought on this show.
Right.
And that this was like a big thing. So allegedly what happened was Louis called Teresa and was doing like their talks like they do when, she's on location. And he was like, to disprove Kim and Dana's live, you need to make sure you take a picture and get it posted from the shoot with her.
Oh, and by the way,
effort.
And by the way, I hear that Teresa has been overly lovely to Diva. Overly lovely.
So you guys,
this is so wonderful to her. And this, I'm dead serious. She's can't do enough.
So what happened was after our live, Louis, this is a new shift. Okay. So, I'm sure that she'll say, no, the producers wanted us to reconcile or whatever it is. Right.
Yeah.
But the truth is what I heard was that Louis called Teresa and was like, I watched Kim's live. Here's what we need to make sure we do.
Yep.
And that's why they posted that picture. And that's why Teresa's next to her and has her arm around her. When have you seen Teresa do that? Like,
never, not with even her real friends, which she don't really have many.
That's what I'm saying. It was so out of character. Just if you've seen the millions of pictures of her over the years, like it's just not her thing.
Yeah, I'd like to find one. I'd like everyone to find one with her arms around people.
So I thought that was like really, really funny. Okay. Now another thing I heard was that there was a poll, and I don't have it ready, but I'll show it to you guys next week. But I guess it's like a big Bravo poll, and the fans really like attacked this poll. But the reason it's kind of juicy, because they were like, do you want Teresa back on the show? And everybody was like, no. I mean, weird. I'll show you. Anyway, but
can I ask you a question?
Bravo saw it.
Go ahead. Bravo saw it.
Bravo saw it. But it was like, it's their poll, like they go off of. So that had to freak her out a little.
So let me ask you a question. And I talked to a couple lawyers about this. I want to go back to Friday for a minute.
Okay.
Back to Friday for a minute. You said that Teresa bought out the 1 million mortgage. She bought that out. Is that correct?
Yeah. You mean the 1.2 million with the penalty clause?
Okay. So do you think any of that other money will be going towards Louis' taxes?
No, I told you that we hadn't done the research yet as of last week.
Okay.
But as of last week, our feeling was on our initial research, which wasn't the deep research, it was that the property taxes hadn't been cleared yet.
Okay. So now so this mortgage is not in Louis' name? But be more specific. I need this information for something.
I don't know if it's in Louis' name too. Okay. But I know it's in Teresa's name. I think it's in both names.
Okay. So 2.something million?
2.5 million.
And so it's 2.5 million, and the 1.25 million plus whatever interest
that was paid.
That's paid. So now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Just to,
I lost something I wanted to show everybody. I'm pissed. I don't know if I can get it while we're on, but I'll try. Go ahead.
Okay. So they have 10 episodes that they signed for. 10. Okay.
That's nothing.
10.
10?
That's all they got.
What?
That's all they got.
Babies. That's it.
They got 10.
Beverly Hills 23, New Jersey, Old Days 17. Just saying.
10 episodes. Okay. So let's give her $1 million. Let's give her $1 million for the 10. Give it to her. Give her the $1 million.
Hypothetical million?
Hypothetical. Throw her the $1 million. Here's your $1 million, Teresa. You got to pay taxes on that money.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two.
I don't think she got $1 million, but go ahead.
Number two. We're going to give it to her.
All right.
Give it to her.
Okay.
She got the $1 million. Now you got to pay taxes on that. So that's number one. Number two.
So $700K.
Okay. Now you got to pay the taxes on the house. The house is 5-6 acres in Montville.
I'm going to say 30,000 a year.
Oh, no way. A
More?
lot more than that. Her taxes on her other house were 60.
That's a lot. Jeez.
You know, you live in Florida. We live in New Jersey.
Right.
I pay 15,000 on a townhouse.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. And my maintenance. Okay. Now that's why I need the tips. I'm like, Anyway.
And by the way, I saw that comment about Rosie. I know you're her fan, but I'm going to tell you something. Her grown-up job.
Yeah. So listen, I just had the woman come and bathe my chihuahuas. So I need help.
Yeah.
You know how the girls send money for Chanel, money for chihuahuas. But anyway, so now let's move forward with this.
Okay.
All their car, let's just add this up in your head. So the taxes, let's say 50, which they're more a year. Now you got to pay the mortgage. God only, what's a payment on $2.5 million? Off the top of your head.
All right, let me think.
Off the top of your head.
12 would be 1.2. So like almost 30 or something like that, 30,000, depending on how much they funded, right? How much did they put down? I'm going to say about 30, 25 to 30.
What?
Let's put it at 30, but that includes your payment on your property tax.
30 what? Not a year.
30,000, 35,000. Yeah. Cause
so how much is that a month?
So I can only go back by like Florida, but like if you have a $1,200,000 mortgage loan at a 5% rate, let's say, and you're paying insurance and you're paying property tax out of it, you're looking at about $12,450 a month.
A month. Okay. So now.
And that's for 1.2. So you could say 36,000 to be around 3. Okay.
Okay. So they love both of you.
25,000.
Just bought from Kim D's Poshmark. Like, woo! Thank you. I can't wait to get off my live and see what you bought. So anyway, with that said, okay, so now let's add some car insurance, which is extremely high in New Jersey. Let's add home insurance. Why don't we add here? Do we need a little lights and some heat?
You're thinking what, $50K a month, right? Is that where you're going?
My PSE&G bill is $800, and I live in a townhouse in New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay, he has huge acreage. The landscaping is going to be like $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
on the
okay.
landscaping.
So,
the water bill is going to be several thousand a month.
Their PSE&G has got to be, if mine's 800, close to 2,000.
Oh, I'd say yeah, for sure,
okay.
more, maybe more.
All right. Now you need a phone.
Yeah.
Cell phone. Two of you need a cell phone. Okay. How do you do this?
How do you pay it?
How do you do all this?
Well, I'd say he's living off the loan, part of it. He's gonna.
That's what I'm saying. How do you pay? I don't understand. How do you have you're dangled the $1 million, Karen, right?
Yeah.
You're dangled that $1 million, which you have to pay taxes on. Now, a bank knows all the other bills you have. I don't understand. You need to dig deeper, Dana.
No, I think that makes sense. I think they could easily qualify for the loan. I'm not worried about that.
Because it's against the house. Because the house is worth more than that.
Yeah. So, well, it's worth what, like 3.5, 4 million or something. Yeah. So yes, the answer is the equity in the property. Also, Teresa's salary is impressive, assuming that it's going to continue. The bank isn't going to say, no, it's not going to continue. She has, that money. It's great. She shows a track record. She's making good money even when she wasn't on the show, right? She did special forces. She did villains, blah, blah. So, but this definitely Teresa was not involved with this property or debt.
At all. The house was not in her name. Right. It was in an LLC. Yeah.
So what happened is Louis realized this ship was sinking and he had to go to Teresa and use Teresa to save the ship. No question about it.
Well, the thing is, it's her ship. It's her house. She lives there with her daughters. That doesn't bother me.
They would have required her to, you're missing it. He didn't put her name. they moved it out of an LLC
Yes.
into her name and his name, potentially as a requirement of the loan.
Right.
So they had to have it in the name of Teresa and Louis potentially because of the loan that they had. It made it cleaner for the bank.
Right. Right.
And they wanted to make sure Teresa was on the property, you know, because she wasn't. So I think that was part of it, you know. And they did do this one more legitimately than the other one. Like this seems like a proper loan.
Okay. But none of the taxes, but you know, I'm not acting. I'm baffled.
Yeah.
I'm just really baffled. You know, I'm just really baffled because I know, you know, what it costs to live here. I mean, I just, the cost of living in New Jersey is, Dana, it's insane. Every one of my friends are like, they're getting their PSE&G bills. They're like, how the hell, their tax bills are crazy. How does everyone survive? You know, I mean, what the, I just don't get it.
Let me just know that Kim and Dana combined income is not anywhere near close to Teresa's income. Teresa and Louis still own the big house. Own what? They own nothing. They own debt and are still married. I know, that's a freaking miracle. Let's just call that what it is. That's like get on your hands and knees and pray to God miracle. But you're right. But we're petty. Sure, I'll take it.
Listen to me.
But let me tell you what, I'm never going to not talk about it. So
listen, we don't profess we don't profess to have. We don't live in a 5-acre multi-million-dollar home. Dana has her.
I love the competition. Like, because I'm talking shit, I have to have it. No, guess what? I'll talk shit just whenever I want.
Anything. Listen, and you're on our live. We're not on yours.
Yeah,
you're on ours.
That's what I'm saying. Don't ruin our party. If you don't want to be petty, get the fuck off.
Get off. Get off. Really, honestly. So what a stupid. Listen, that is the most ignorant. Tell me what they have. But tell me what they have after all these millions are paid back and whatever. Now stop. Okay.
What they have is nothing. What they have is nothing because Louis Ruelas has over $2 million in tax liability. Teresa has probably a few $100,000.
She paid hers. Teresa paid hers.
Totally.
Yes.
So he's got a few million. She's got nothing. She's got now a $2.5 million debt in her name. He's going to hopefully work and pay some of it. She's doing most of the work for sure. You know, I don't know. The kids are working. They're all on Bravo shows or they're doing Instagram and stuff.
For them. And we're not bringing the kids into it.
But I'll tell you what.
She has her own place. But
I wouldn't be excited if I had a $2.5 million loan and my husband
wouldn't be able to sleep at
$2
night.
million in tax.
About?
I'd be like, this would be me. Like, we need to have a conversation about debt.
My heart, I just got my heart checked out. It wouldn't have came back that way. Okay. It wouldn't have, I really wouldn't have. I mean, I couldn't get through the
my God, Kim,
never mind sleep with those numbers over my head. So whoever you are, you're a complete fool. Another fool.
We had to bring a little New Jersey into this.
Of course we do. Do we have any more?
Yeah, I like that, Kim. You be a badass. All right.
Listen, I love the trolls.
Oh, I have to pray something. I forgot.
Go ahead. While you're playing, could I run to the bathroom?
Oh my God. What? No, not while I'm trying to find a video.
Yes. Go.
That's you screwing me up here. Okay, I'm going to try to talk, you guys. No, we're in a silly mood today. I'm not going to lie. It was all that legal talk. It made me feel silly. I'm in a silly mood. All right, let's look at this. We watch this while we wait.
So, hey, Gerry, I hear that you work in the medical marijuana business. I'm also in the cannabis industry. I'd love to hear all about that. How'd you get into the business?
Oh, wow. I got in.
Hold on.
We started. Wow. The company itself, we've been open. We're on our 14th year.
Wow.
We worked on legislation and
this is
all the grass, the root works in the beginning of that for another 5 years before. So about 20 years I've been doing this.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 years. And it's been a long journey. And
true pioneer.
Yeah.
I bet that wasn't easy.
No, not at all. Big bullseye in your back.
Big bullseye on your back.
You know, the interesting thing is when we started, we were looking at the medical marijuana side and we met with growers, we met with, property owners, and the people that were really talking to us were realtors or developers, and they were developing a lot of land for the growers and processors. And some of the stories that they were telling us were scaring the hell out of us. Like, there's been people that get killed by the cartel because you're encroaching on their business, right?
Yeah, it was wild because we spent a lot of time in California, and spent a lot of time with, you probably know him, Steve D'Angelo.
Yeah.
So we've worked with him for years, and in the very beginning, we would fly out there. There'd be a group of us, and we're going to go on tours of some grows, and they weren't legal back then, I guess, in California, 14 years ago, 15 years ago. It really wasn't legal. They were like town ordinances.
Yeah.
So these guys had guns on them. It was crazy. It was a crazy scene.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I think California is a good place to grow.
Yeah.
I think the whole West Coast, really. Does most of your stuff come from the West Coast?
No, everything has, because of federal law, so you can't.
Oh, that's right. So it's got to be in your state.
Yeah, so we're vertically integrated. We grow all our own medicine, do all our own processing here.
Wow.
It's a pretty big operation. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry, with how big the operation is, how have you been? It's probably your biggest headache is how do you deal with the little guys that are working out of their homes that basically don't follow the rules? And with your size, obviously you got a big bullseye on your back. You got to follow everything, kind of do it by the book. But there's a lot of people that aren't doing it by the book. How has that affected your business?
It does. It's the black market is something we're always competing against.
Yeah.
People feel safer coming to a store than the corner of Stafford and Run. You know what I mean? Like they want to come to a store, have consistency and medicine that's been tested. As far as competing with them and dealing
or
with
even
them,
just the smaller guys that have a branch, but they're so small that they could just do things where they're not following the rules.
Well, they wouldn't. So we're licensed by the state. So there's only 9 of us now.
Nine.
Okay.
Yes. So that anyone that is growing that's not supposed to be is breaking the law. And the state is kind of being a partner because they're collecting tax money from us, enforces those laws. So, we gotta hope they do their job.
Only 9. Wow.
Yeah. And Rhode Island's not that big, right?
Yeah. No, but we're the number one cannabis user in the country. Imagine that. Wow. Yeah. High Times did an article on that, and Rhode Island came in first.
Strictly for medicinal purposes, right?
Well, I don't know what High Times was doing that, but yeah.
Hey, so tell me about the name that your company, Thomas C. Slater Compassion Center. How did you come up with that?
So Thomas C. Slater, he was the champion of the legislation that passed the law in the state of Rhode Island.
Okay.
So we worked closely with him. I was actually so we started a program in the state. When I say we, I mean the state started a program before the dispensaries, caregivers. So you were allowed to grow 6 plants, and you'd have a person you would take care of, like say 2 patients you were allowed, and you could sell that cannabis.
Started.
Right.
And Thomas was going through health issues, and he was my patient. And since then he's passed away. But so in his honor, we named this Slater Center after him.
Mm. And now, just for clarification, it's a dispensary you own or manufacturing?
It's everything. So we're vertically integrated. So we're a dispensary, we're manufacturing, we're cultivators. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's about close to 200 employees we have here. It's a pretty decent sized operation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You're not 200 employees.
Awesome. Congratulations on that. I also understand you're a sports fisherman.
This is hilarious.
I can't wait to hear all about that. Sounds fun.
That was an exciting part of my life. That lasted about 15 years, so 14
wow.
years. Yeah. I've been doing that for a long time. I just sold the boat last summer.
Okay.
And that's kind of what pushed us to do the show more than not. Because my wife talks about it a lot during the season, but it never made the show. So it's kind of, it didn't happen, but whatever. Still had fun doing it.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Interesting. There's more to that, but I thought in the context of Doug's discussion earlier, you would find that interesting. If you guys don't know why I played that, you might want to listen to the beginning of the show when Doug's on talking about Liz and all that. Anyway, it's so interesting, all of it. Okay, you ready to do our recap?
Yes.
Okay, I love it. Let me change notes.
That was Charlie.
What's that, baby dog?
This is Charlie. She has shaved. She has her summer shave. This is Charlie. You're used to her like having all tons of hair.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I don't know her.
Yes. You know why? She's usually downstairs when we do our live, but I let her stay with me. The groomer came to the house to do the Chihuahuas, and I think Charlie likes her, but I think they all got a little verklempt because they're like, oh shit, are we going back again? So yeah, she's Velcro right now. They're verklempt.
Verklempt. All right. So let's see here. What are we going to start with? We're going to start with the Capo nightclub. It was Capo, right? Capo
Yes.
nightclub, I think it was. Okay. It's an upscale club venue and it's Frank Sinatra night. And when we see the women arrive, Joe Ellen and Liz and Alicia are all at odds with each other. They've drank a lot. It's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Especially Liz. Liz calls Alicia a snake, I think, and Alicia calls Liz a snake and confessionals and otherwise. And Liz is really kind of set off by this whole thing because she doesn't want to really fight with Alicia. She just doesn't want her to say that she's homeless. Alicia feels like Liz is trying to make her look like a liar. And that really upsets her. Hi, Tracy. Smugglers. Doug said that was a popular route.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so Liz is very upset because she feels like I'm the bad guy now. You've made me the villain. And she thinks Joe Ellen has set her up, bottom line. She's like, and Joe Ellen keeps calling her Liz's best friend. And I believe that this is because Joe Ellen has never been her best friend. And this is some sort of bullshit she's peddling on the show. And so Liz is upset because she knows like it's a dig. It's like a dig. You know what I mean?
But Liz, I think the what people don't get, what they don't understand is the night that Liz said it and Alicia got upset, Liz apologized and they didn't show it. So I get the fact that Liz keeps saying, well, you weren't, right? But you don't see the original apology. And that's why when Liz is going at Joelle and I apologize 19 times, like that's the underlying thing you're not seeing. We can go through the rest, but that's why she's
frustrated, so frustrated. Liz is listening to what she's saying, her words. And Joellen is saying things in a way that she knows is going to make her look bad on camera. So where she could do it in a way that it wouldn't make Liz look bad on camera, she isn't. And so she sees it for what it is, like a mask through you. Now, unfortunately, why did Liz think that she was going to get away, do you think, with the pulling of the hair, the little pull, and not have it show up on camera, just being green?
Yeah. And that's what we love about them.
Yeah.
That's why this show's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And they all have tempers. Every one of them have a temper. You know, that's what they look for. They all have tempers. I mean, we've seen Joellen go off. We've seen Liz go off now. Alicia, Rosie. We've seen them all go off. The only one we didn't see go off was Kumasiam, Ashley, right? The other ones, all of them have gone off. They go off. And I mean, remember when Alicia was sitting in the chair and she starts yelling at, who was it? She was yelling at Joellen, like screaming, carrying on. Or was it Rosie? Like out of the blue. Rosie, like out of the blue. These girls pop off.
Well, you know what, though? What was it that Liz said in Joellen's ear after she shoves the chair over? Because whatever she said made her get up and go.
Yep.
That was actually the moment. So you guys in the scene, you know, they're bitching and there's music playing and whatever. And Liz is getting more and more angry and she's getting physical. So she like first pulls Joellen's hair.
Then she pushes the chair.
She pushes the chair. And then, and Joellen is in her face on purpose. She doesn't want, Joellen knows that Liz has a side that she's trying to get to come out. And she's going to demonstrate Liz's side that she's trying to hide on the show. Yeah. That's what Joellen's up to. Okay.
That's what happened.
Because she's so on her. She's so close that you can.
Yeah, she's riding her ass. She's riding.
On purpose. Like if I know Kim from our friendship how to piss her off, right? I'll say, oh, I know what to say. Boom. Yeah. And I go it.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Exactly. It's exactly what happened.
That's what Joellen did. And but there's this moment where Liz goes in her ear and we obviously don't hear what it is, but she says something and Joellen just gets up and walks out into the car and goes home.
Yep.
So I wonder, Now, there's been rumors that Joe Ellen, I guess, cheats on her husband that we heard, right? That's kind of around. I forgot if that's in the teaser or what, but I wonder if that's what she said. What do you think she said?
I don't think it was that.
What do you think she said? I'll out you for what? I don't know. She said, I'm going to kick your ass. I know, because
you know,
Joe Ellen said, I'll kick your ass.
Just doesn't seem the type to do that. I think she's too old school, and had been around the people that don't do that. I don't know what she said, but I don't think it had anything to do with that. I really don't. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on that, and maybe I'll find out. Maybe I'll try to find out. But I just don't think so.
Hi, Robin. Look up Joe Ellen's restraining order when
dating David Caprio. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wow.
That's your job.
Wow.
Dana, that's your job.
Wow.
Write it down, Dana.
I got to. Would you take a moment?
Yeah, take a moment. Take a moment.
All right. Wow, that was like Oscar-winning tea.
Oscar-winning tea.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, that might have been what she was in her year.
Listen, what I know of Liz is she's old school, and I don't see her saying in her ear, "I'll tell on you." I just don't see it. I don't see it. She could have said something else that would be like, I don't know, you know, like fuck off, or like get the hell out of here, or the things are gonna. I don't know, but I don't think she would threaten her with a secret. That's just not her. I could tell it's not her style. You know, I just could tell.
You know what? I did have other New Jersey tea, but I'll tell you next time. Just saying. Don't let me forget the Lena tea.
I want to know.
No, the Lena tea. No.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
We're already on this, but that's good tea. I have the receipts. I'll show you. Okay. So,
let me just ask you real quick though. How much does it cost to go on that show? The boat show. What's the boat below deck? How much is that?
Like 10,000.
Like they don't pay for you. You have to pay for them to go. You have to pay for yourself to go.
Yeah, you pay for the boat for a certain
amount. You pay for the boat. How much is it?
A discount. I think it's 10. I heard it was around 10,000 or something. Yeah. I mean, it's not that bad, but it is, you know. But still, you're paying to be on TV. I mean, what else are you doing on that? Yeah. Okay. Right. All right. So then what happens is, you know, Rosie makes a snide comment like, well, I guess it's not me that's in trouble this time. Yay, I'm glad. And everybody else is just kind of in shock with what went down. Okay, so that happens. And then we jump to Twin Oaks restaurant, and Alicia's with her giant family, right?
I love them. I love them.
Hi, David.
Hi, Dana. Hi, David, Anthony. Yeah, I love the ants. They're going to be on Watch What Happens. You'll see. He'll be on
the ants are good. They'll bartend or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, Alicia sits down, and what's good about this scene is we get a feeling that the depiction of what Alicia's put forward, that she was homeless, is real. The family,
it's very real.
And they don't get it. They don't get offended like Liz thought they were going to be. So although Liz supposedly knows her so well and the family so well, Liz totally misread the family's reaction to this coming out. And they do get why Alicia feels like she lost her childhood home, and that made her feel homeless, and that she was out and about with the family, and it was really awful for her.
Awful.
Yeah. So the family confirms Alicia's feelings on this, which is why this scene's really important. We also see that her daughter is a super talented dancer. My goodness. Fabulous dancer. I mean, actually better than Rosie's husband singing by a lot. Like, I was like, would I pay for that Frank Sinatra thing?
And, you know, I don't like putting down, but I didn't think.
I know, but Alicia's daughter, he didn't sound good. And Alicia's daughter,
I don't know. I don't understand it.
It's not even. It's just.
I don't understand
the fact. Yeah, she was dancing to some EDM. I'd be down.
But like, you could see she's enamored with him, which that's nice.
Yes,
That was very nice. I like
blindly in love with.
Like I'm in love with you. Yes.
Oh, so cute. Okay. So then, so we get that moment, and Alicia's daughter rightfully gets a giant, what was that? A award?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
statue or whatever it is. Okay. Anyway, then what's interesting is one of the aunts says, "I think Liz is on drugs." Did you?
Aunt says, yeah, first of all, I know for a fact that Liz is not a big drinker and she doesn't do drugs. Like I know that. And Dolores just said that on the 2 T's. And Dolores is, they've been out together socially. Yeah. She's not even a big drinker. Okay.
So this is what the aunt said, not me. And I'm telling
you, want to know what I think
but Alicia said, no, she does marijuana, but for spiritual reasons.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just explain something to you about people like the aunt, that would say that. Okay. So I take a teeny weeny half. What does it say? The daughter was amazing. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So I take a little piece, when my mom passed away, after I sold her house, the doctor had to put me on Zoloft. Okay. Yeah. Because of my anxiety. All right. So now I tried going off completely. It didn't work out. So now I take a little piece of it, a little teeny weeny piece every night. Okay. And I also have to take a Xanax once in a while because I'm very high strung. Okay. And have anxiety. Now, does that mean I'm medicated? Does that mean that I take
him? No, I'm kidding.
But yeah. I am kind of a little bit medicated to go to sleep. I'm a little bit medicated for my anxiety.
I'll make sure I call you before bed.
Yeah, but but here's the thing. So if Liz does any of this, the gummies, they were saying the gummies for her for their menopausal stuff and all of this stuff, if that's the case, then that's fine. I honestly believe that's what the aunt meant. I do not think the aunt in any way, shape, or form said that she was, doing drugs. I think she meant the medicinal marijuana, blah, 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 because of what they're into. And you know what? To each his own when it comes to that.
Well, she said, I've been around the block.
Right. Yes, right. She did. And I'm sure she has. Yes.
Right. So I don't know.
What are you doing over there, Chloe?
Yeah. So anyway, Alicia shockingly says in the scene in her confessional video, Liz is an abuser. Yeah. Now, like there, I've said it. What does an abuser mean?
I know.
What the hell does that mean? An abuser.
That was tough to hear, Dana.
What does it mean? There's a meaning to that. That's not, I'm pissed at you. I'm like, Kim's a bitch. I don't go, Kim's an abuser. Like there's some other, why that vocabulary word?
Yeah, well, that's why the reunion's going to be huge. And that's why, Alicia, do you remember when Andy put out the seating arrangement and it was Liz and Alicia and no one could understand it? We get it now. I understand it now. Yeah.
This is interesting. There's more. Again, I still feel like, okay, you guys, obviously when they're talking on the show and everybody's saying Liz is kind of paranoid and she doesn't trust anyone, they're obviously hinting about the phone calls that were recorded. Duh. Right? So what is Alicia hinting at with the abuse? Right? We just got a little tea here about Joellen that popped in here. We didn't know, right? There's a lot of secrets to these women that we still don't know yet. All right. So then Alicia's like, I feel set up by Liz, and she's not taking Liz's phone calls right now.
Yeah, I was shocked to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then we move on. I really that scene was interesting to me. Then we move on to Liz with Dolores and Kelsey. And this is her doing I think a loyalty check.
Yeah, a loyalty check, damage control.
Yeah, for sure. So Liz is checking hey, how are you feeling, Kelsey, about everything? Because she feels like Kelsey's maybe not supporting her anymore. So she's losing control of Kelsey on the cast.
Yeah.
And it's true. She is. Kelsey. Yes. Kelsey starts to say, hey, I don't know if I have Liz's back as much as I used to have. And she kind of bullied me a little, and she did intimidate me. Yep.
You see it happening right on camera, 100%.
Yep. And then, you know, Liz is, I think, starting to feel like Joe Ellen's wishy-washy. Kelsey may be wishy-washy. She's feeling a little vulnerable there. Now, Dolores is in the scene. Again, it feels so weird. It's like somehow Dolores went from I'm a cast member of the show to I'm Dolores's friend of. And I mean
Liz's friend of.
Friend of, yeah. So what do you...
She was always, well, I know the intricate part of it. She was always cast as just a friend. And the way I was told and whatever, it was not really cast. It was more cameos. I believe that they bridged Rhode Island. They didn't know. They think they knew. And they saw these women and loved them. But you just never know until you're filming. And so they bridged Dolores because Dolores and Liz, they look exactly alike. They knew each other through the cannabis things. So they used her as a bridge. And you know what? I'd be used as pay me. You could use me as a bridge. Plus, she was able to get that beautiful silver gown, and she introduced them. It's all good. It's all good. It was a good gig.
Okay. What I want to know is, again, why you guys, you are on the ground. Why the hell I got some Rhode Island people in here. Why did Dolores say Rosie blocked her from filming? Kim gave a theory last week on last week's show, but I'm wondering what you guys think. Like, have you heard anything from the cast? Let me know. You know, I haven't been in my DMs. I admit I'm overwhelmed. I'm in, you know, I'm sightseeing and shit, but let me know. I'll get there this weekend. Yeah. Okay. So then we move on, and basically the check is kind of a waste because Kelsey isn't really siding with Liz. Dolores is just like, and who cares? Okay.
Right.
So then we jump to Rosie and in-laws at the beach, and Ashley Jared is at the coffee house. And Rosie, with her in-laws at the beach, is kind of talking about, are they going to have kids or not? And Rosie,
I don't like that conversation.
Why?
Because I don't like, first of all, I don't like kids. Let's start with that. I have a son that I adore. But after that, I was one and done. I don't, when I walk into a restaurant, if there's kids sitting there, I ask to have my chair moved. It's not that.
You don't like chaos.
I don't want to be around it. Okay. And I'm like, I'm going to have a full discussion with Lorraine Poe and myself on people who have children and the grandparents watch the kids where they, okay. So
you have so many dogs.
Yeah, like, I know. So I'm like Darcy.
You might as well be the dog. Like I be in chaos, like in dogs.
Yeah,
like,
no.
One dog I can do.
This is true.
Multiple dogs freak me out because I can't love them like that. I have to love them like all.
Yeah, no. Well, that's why you got your heart broken.
Yeah, and my I'm one and done because I can't. I actually
can't do it again.
Give 100
to
more than one. Like I'm a one trick.
Yeah, but I don't feel. I feel you have it in you to be a mother, and it's so hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And if you're questioning it, you should not have a baby. It is really hard. Okay, I had a full-time nanny. My mother was like there for me 100%. And my stepfather helped me raise my son with a nanny. And it's still hard. So I don't like people pressuring people that really are questioning whether they want to be a mother or not. Things have changed since we were younger. Could you imagine now the pressure and how hard it is to raise children? So I don't like that. I don't like that. And I know a lot of young girls now, they don't want children. And they say it right up front. There's other ones that want 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's fine for them. I don't like a family pressure. I don't like that. I think they put her in a bad position. She kind of told him up front she didn't want children.
Well, yeah, the dad, I mean, to be fair, he doesn't control the father. He just said, hey, what are you thinking about kids? And he did say, it's your body, it's your right. The dad did. I was surprised.
I know.
Old school Rhode Island Italian dads would normally not say that. They'd be like, oh, you better be having a kid. What the hell are you talking about? I want a grandkid, you know?
Yeah.
Selfish. Why not? For you, I want a grandkid. So the thing is that I think with Rosie, I feel like she is a child herself. She calls herself a perpetual teenager. She's not ready, but nobody's asking her to make the decision right this second. That's in her head. Like, she could wait. Hell, LA people don't have kids till they're like 40.
Yeah, but see, LA is on a different level than Rhode Island.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, the time clock is kind of.
But not in Rhode Island. Everything starts a lot younger.
I get that. I'm watching.
Yeah, everything starts a lot younger. But honestly, like when I was with, this is funny. So after I had my son, blah, blah, blah. So I was with Jimmy before Michael. I was engaged. We were talking about being married. And he's like, wouldn't you like to have a little girl? Wouldn't you like to, I mean, you know how beautiful this little girl would be? And like, for like a split second, I'm like, wow, you know, it would really, really be cute to have a little girl. And then I said, but what if I have another boy? Like that, that's just, I'm sorry, that's the way. And I'm like, but it was a split second. And I said, I didn't say it to him, but I'm like, it's not happening. Shop is closed. I had an IUD.
It's a lot. Hey, listen, it's a lot. People need, if you do it right, meaning you give all your attention, love, money, time that you can in between things, it's a very rewarding. It's the most rewarding thing you'll do. It gives you purpose. Like
I spent the whole weekend with my son. He took me for breakfast.
I know.
Sunday, he took me to see Michael. And like, my son pays for me. Like I raised, you know, he would never like let me, you know what I mean? But like I raised a man.
Yeah.
He's a man. Me
too.
Right. And that's what I wanted. And you know what? I'm fulfilled with him. I'm fulfilled. I have my dogs. I'm fulfilled. My lifestyle after my son, there was never a time that it was another time for it to bring up a job because I want to do it right. And I wasn't in a position to do it right. I was selfish. I was selfish. And my son got everything because of it. My mother, we had a life that I wrote about that was second to none. And my son reaped the rewards of it. But like, there was no room for, if I was with someone like Jimmy or whatever, I'd be like, it's not happening. What,
as a single mom,
like I'm living my life. I became selfish. I did it once. I didn't want to do it again.
As a single mom, I could not bring my son to Europe if I had to.
Right. Exactly.
So I had to make a choice.
Exactly.
I wanted him to share. Now, I had unlimited money and funds and a good relationship with a solid guy, I might have done more. 100%. But in my circumstance, what I was given or what I was able, this was what I could manage. And I only take on what I can manage and do well and do excellent. I try not to let people down ever if I can.
I just don't like the conversation. That's just me.
All right. Wow. This really triggered you. This one.
That's just me. You know me. I got to say, but I have
Rosie, my big mouth. You do you, girl. You do you. Bottom line. Okay. Although I do have to say, Kim knows I got triggered because I don't like this, the slut pig, slam pig, slut pigs for my season.
Horrible. Horrible thing to say. Horrible.
Okay, you guys, this is so annoying. Okay, I said this on my Instagram. I have to say it on here once. I know for a fact that the reason they're bringing Slam Pig on Rhode Island is a nostalgia shout out to season 2 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Brandi Glanville's Slut Pig. Now, let me tell you something, okay? The difference is that when Kim Richards with Kyle calls Brandi Glanville Slut Pig, it was real. Like it wasn't, we didn't make it into like, we're going to wear crowns that say slut and we're going to, like Kim couldn't think of a better comeback than we were drinking. She was on something, you know, it was like, It was heat in the moment. I was really mad at Brandy. She irritated the shit out of me. I did get her crutches, which I was nice enough to get her crutches.
Yeah.
Hit them. I found them. Okay. You guys probably know how real that is, like my personality. Right. But at the time I was pissed. So I was like, Kyle, get her.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to be nice when I'm not. I'm not always nice.
Nope.
You know, I'm me, whatever that is. So I said, yeah, get her. She's mean, bitch. Don't like her. And so Kyle and Kim got really excited when this happened because they needed a push. See, Kyle's around a bunch of wishy-washy people on the show, which you don't know is part of the ensemble of our like cast, which they should have kept, was that I was really good at getting Kyle to do something. She'd be on the verge of doing something and she wouldn't do it. She needed the push.
Yes.
So I was good at being like, I'll break through that glass.
I love it.
You feel like you can do it. I'll be the asshole and you can do it.
Right.
So in that scene, I was like, Kyle's passive aggressive. Like she is on the show now, passive aggressive. And I just finally went like, she's a bitch. Do it, Kyle. And Kyle just went off.
That's hysterical.
And then all that Kim could think of, because she was so angry because Brandy said she was doing drugs in the bathroom and she wasn't. She was doing something before she got there, but not in the bathroom. But again, she didn't want it to come out on the show.
Right, of course.
And neither did Kyle. So they as sisters are like, fucking bitch. And I know that they don't want it to come out on the show. And so, you know, I'm like, I can't believe this. Who is this bitch in my house calling out Kim in the bathroom doing drugs, which she doesn't want out in the show. And so anyway, it all goes down and she says, what am I going to call her? Slut pig. Right. And it was real. And we were like, slut pig, what? You know?
Wow.
Anyway, but from there.
So you're thinking that slam pig. So you're thinking slam pig is okay. I get you.
So what happens, let me just finish, that what happens is the fans on their very own gravitated to slut pig.
Gotcha.
Like they gravitated to Pam, right? I didn't even think Pam was that great. She called me Pam. I'm like, yeah, call me Pam, you know, because
Gotcha.
I didn't get it. The fans did. Then the fans gravitated to a bunch of other shit. That's what became iconic, but it became that way because the fans did it.
Yes.
Now, fast forward, you know, however many years we jump to Rhode Island, they're making their own iconic moments, but they can't be forced moments.
No.
And what I felt like, even with Amanda Francis on Beverly Hills this season, they were like, let's wipe, you know, we're pissed at Brandy. We're pissed at Dana. Let's just erase them. Right? Let's erase Dana Wilkie 25,000 pretension list because she's blacklisted. And let's replace her with Amanda Francis. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
In the 20th season, let's make Amanda. And he tried to do it, I know, because his co-host said it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where did this come from? I'm nothing like her on the show. I mean, you feel like brand dropping. So what? Like everybody does it.
Everybody does, of course.
Yeah. So I'm like, I had a song with brands. Like I was on Saturday Night Live with brands. Like, So I'm like, what are they doing? And then I realized who said it. Andy Cohen's co-host. And I was like, he's the one who started it.
Right.
And then I see it on Rhode Island, and I'm like, they're trying to get rid of her too.
Wow.
Pig was her thing. And now they make it slam pig. And now everything is slam pig. What do I see? Rosie's like, it's not funny. And I'm like saying last week, that's great. Then what do I see on my Instagram feed? She's DJing and headlining a show called
Slam Pig. Terrible.
But again, let the fans make it iconic.
I agree.
Why are you making it iconic?
I agree, babe.
It's crap. Anyway, I see it. So that's that. I don't like the slam pig. It pissed me off.
Either.
Yeah. And I liked Rosie saying that she didn't like it. And don't jump on that bandwagon. It's stupid. All right. Okay. Now, Eli, the proposal. What do you think about Alicia's man not wanting to ask her to marry him? I mean, like, not in a fancy way. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, I thought she didn't want to marry him. He goes, I'm turning 50. So what?
He wouldn't ask her in a romantic way.
Right. He goes, well, I'm turning 50. Yeah, so? Like,
you can't be romantic? What, are you dead?
Listen, let me tell you something.
By the way, he looks 60.
Yeah, he does. So I've never been in a relationship like that. So I don't like, listen, that's got to be very lonely because it's kind of like an aesthetic. You live in a beautiful home, you got the pool, you have the kid, but he doesn't feel because he's turning 50 that he wants to be romantic in any way for you. And she has to go to him for like a job situation. And I've never had and I've had plenty of relationships. I wrote about them. They were all romantic. I mean, what Jimmy did, but they all did. I had plenty of proposals. Beautiful. And they wanted to make it special for me. So I don't get him. I don't get him.
It's weird.
It's really weird.
Is it the culture of Rhode Island?
No, I hope not. Let's find out. We have to find out because that's not, no, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. You can't and not for nothing, you have to be told. You should want to do that as a man.
Isn't it gross?
Yeah, it really is. It's not my cup of tea, that's for sure.
So, anyway, we jumped to Ashley and Jared, and they're in the coffee house, and they're discussing if they should be serving more alcohol because the coffee doesn't have a big enough profit margin, which I agree. And they're, trying drinks, and they've got to decide if they're going to continue the lease. I mean, that's the best.
They do. They were on Andy Cohen, and they said the place is doing great now since it's been on the show. And Andy was very happy for them. Like Andy said, how is the name, whatever the name of the place is?
Audrey's.
Yeah, he said it's doing great. And Andy was happy. Remember, this is Andy's baby. So he was really happy to hear that. So the place is doing great.
Well, their influencer thing worked.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Did you guys find that compelling to watch on the show?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all. But it worked out for them,
Well, it's so rare that you're allowed to actually talk about something you're promoting. Tamara Judge will tell you she's been trying to promote her shit on that show on OC for years. They never put it on.
Yeah,
listen. And these two waltz in.
I know.
Bachelor Nation.
Great. Look how many times they filmed at Posh. Look how many times they filmed at Posh. My Posh fashion shows filmed at both my stores. Come on.
You're another lucky one.
International name, Posh, because of that.
So then Joellen goes to Kelsey's apartment, which we found out, remember last week's gossip, is she's really living with Billy right now. But she was there briefly in this apartment. Right. And Joellen goes to paint. And again, to my point, what does she paint, Kim? What do you remember? What pig?
The slam pig.
Right, because we're not going to let the fans make it iconic.
No, we're not. We're going to make sure we keep it moving.
We're going to keep it like a song that we want to make a hit. We're just going to keep peppering you with it until you make it iconic.
I would be too thrilled if I was. See, no. Listen, I got to give Kelsey credit. She's taking it on the chin. I don't like that kind of talk. I don't like that kind of talk at all.
Yeah, no, I don't. And I actually was like, I kind of wanted her to be a little more old school about it.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Like when she said to Joellen, yeah, look at your pig with dick sucking lips.
Well, how about when she said at the dining room table?
I was like,
how about when she said at the dining room table, I'm going to give him a blowjob once a week so he pays for the car. You don't remember that? When Billy was sitting right there.
Oh, okay, I'm going to go right back to him. I'm just kidding.
Listen, I got no words.
In the old days, you hit it at least.
I got no words for this kind of talk. I just got no words. I really don't. I don't even know what to say about it. It really is.
Wow. But again, I'm going to say it. Yeah. Bravo is making it iconic. You understand?
Yes.
Bravo is hitting you over the head with it 50 million times.
Yeah.
Trying to make it like it's not shocking. It's not gross. It's not degrading to women. Hey guys, it's fun. Ready? Here's a crown.
It's not fun.
Here's a sash. Wait, let me paint it. Let me do a scene with it. Scene with it.
And then the sash. And now the DJ.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. And let me call it. And then let me do a Halloween contest. Where you're a slam pig.
No.
Let me just tell you, okay? Don't believe the hype.
And
if you don't think it's iconic, it ain't iconic.
Don't lower yourself to be a slam pig for Halloween.
And
please.
don't fall for it. When they try to make something that belonged to one housewife that was like a thing, let them have that thing and, let someone else have a different thing.
I agree.
Don't replace Brandy Glanville just because you got her sued because you made her act funny with Manzo in a corner and got her high.
Yeah.
Just saying, I can say those things.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
So, and I'm not Amanda Francis. Ew.
Ew.
God. Oh, God. Ugh. All right. So, let's see. Oh, then we go to a really good scene. I like this. Okay. Rula and Liz at lunch. This is the big moment. We find out that Joellen may not be loyal to her husband in this scene. This is where it was. I forgot. So Rula, I think, says to Liz, I heard Joellen isn't loyal to her husband, or it's in a confessional or something, but it's in that scene.
Yeah.
And Liz and Joellen decide to join forces. I mean, Liz and Rula decide to join forces before against.
We understand what you're trying to say, Dana. We get it.
Wow, I've been talking before this even.
I get it.
So it'd help if I take the top off. So basically, Liz and Rula are joining an alliance against Joellen, and this is the tea that she's cheating on her guy. So what do you think about that?
I don't know where she'd find the time. She has 3 kids, a husband. I mean, God bless her, and a job. I can't find the time. I'm single with only dogs. My son's 36. I don't know where she would find the time. 3 kids, a husband, and a job. When do you find the time?
Amen, sis. Amen.
Yes. No, she's saying Amanda, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, puke. I said amen.
Amen. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So, so I don't know. I'm not buying that.
Okay, so you don't believe that Joellen... I believe Joellen and her husband are swingers right now.
I would go for that more than I would go for the cheating.
Yeah, I think they have an open relationship. That's what I think. And I mean, in a swinger rule book, like, to keep it okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think? Oh, now you didn't jump in with what I thought you were there. I thought you were going to bring up that Rula betrays Liz after this.
How did Rula betray Liz? I'm having a
We heard that Rula behind the scenes wasn't hanging out with Liz. Remember?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
We found out some secret scoop that basically.
Oh, that Rula threw her on, right.
What?
I got it now. I got it. Hold on.
Okay, I fucked the names.
Okay, hold on. Rula goes on Andy Cohen and he asks her who, basically she hangs out with. And the 2 people she didn't say was Liz and Kelsey. And those were the 2 that had her back the whole time.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I hadn't seen your moment for a minute. Had a moment.
I was like, I said, this scene is really ironic. Now you know why Liz was so pissed. Imagine doing this scene and the girls, it throws you under the bus.
Yeah. She threw them under a bus, all right.
Wow. All right, let's see. Liz from the very beginning. Joellen's playing everybody. You think Joellen's playing everybody?
No, I think Joellen's a great housewife. I think Joellen tells it like it is. And she's making the show. I think she's her and Alicia are really like popping.
Yeah.
They're popping on this show. They really tell it like it is. I don't think either one of them are hiding anything. I really don't. I think that if they're...
Joellen's restraining order just came up over here. What the hell are you talking about?
Joellen's what?
Joellen's restraining order against David Caprio.
I don't think... But listen, let me explain. I don't think Joellen would do this. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, Joellen, let's do your confessional. Okay. By the way, I just want to tell everyone I had a restraining order. No, but I think when it's brought up, she's going to own it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose. We'll see if anyone brings it up. I'd love that. That would be good.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we jump and Billy and Kelsey are working out at the gym. And Billy, now this is great, you guys. Here's some tea if you didn't pick up on it. In one scene, the producer asked Kelsey, how long have you kept Billy waiting for you? Like that he had to be celibate and not date anyone, but you were, with Caprio still, let's say, supposedly. And she says a year.
A year.
But
do you believe that?
No
man celibate for a year. Go ahead.
The next scene, they ask them hanging out, or she is talking to him in a separate scene in the gym, non-confessional, and they say 2 years. 2 years I've been waiting for you.
That's different than being celibate.
So 1 year celibate, 2 years. Can I tell you what I think? I think, as you know, she hasn't been with John Caprio for 2 years, so they lied in both scenes, and they forgot what the hell they said.
I do too, and I think she's been fooling around with Billy from day one. I don't think he had to be celibate. He was with her. She was with John Caprio a couple of weeks out of the year. The rest of the time, she was probably with this kid. Come on.
Of course.
No celibacy. No celibacy in Rhode Island.
And he's trying to save face on the show. He's saying,
I feel bad for Billy.
I feel bad for Billy because what's happening is she's come to him and said, this is my meal ticket.
Yep.
I'm going to make a lot of money. You just have to play the game with me and we'll have a great life.
That's tough for a guy.
Pretend that I did this thing because that's why they casted me.
Yep.
Right? They think I'm with John Caprio. I have this mansion. They're going to introduce you. I'm going to dump him.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be great. But if I don't say this, I'm not getting on the show. So he's like, all right, I get it. Let's take one for the team. I'll do it. But he's waiting for his moment where he gets to say, I'm the man. And I'm taking back all the dignity that you killed in the last 8 episodes.
Right.
And I'm going to put my foot down and say, that's it. And some sort of arc he thinks that he's getting, which she sold him. No doubt about it. Kelsey said, this is going to happen and you'll be vindicated and all this shit, right?
100%.
So he's waiting for it. And
Didn't happen yet.
She's not giving it to him.
No.
Because the producers are still like,
they're riding this out.
They're riding it out. Yeah.
They're riding it out.
Yeah. So Billy is just getting the
poor thing. Poor Billy.
Really bad end of the stick on this one. Yeah.
Poor
but
Billy.
You can see it in the scene. You can see it in the scene.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see. Anything else? Let's go. Scene 8, Liz and Joe Ellen's lunch. No apologies, no resolution. This is the end. So the girls sit down at lunch and Joe Ellen and Liz are going to have the standoff. They're going to either apologize or not to each other. They sit down. Joe Ellen's like, I don't think I did anything to you. I was a mediator. Why you pissed? Liz is like, I see you, you sneaky bitch. Every way you mediated was to make me look like the villain, the bad guy. You're a manipulative little bitch. I see you. And you set me up. And you trying to hurt my friendship with Alicia. And she's my real friend. So now I'm really coming for you. No matter what the hell you say at this lunch. Right. And at this moment, we're not getting anywhere. A rainstorm happens. That's when it's good TV, like random shit like that.
She was freezing as it is. She was freezing. Then the rain starts coming. Like I say, I get a kick out of Jo Ellen. I like her a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah. So, and then Jo Ellen's not backing down. So Liz says, that's it. I'm out of here.
She's not afraid. Look, she went in Liz's face. She's not afraid.
No, she isn't.
And you know what everyone says? She went to friggin' reform school with murderers and kids that were slicing their own wrists. She's not going to be afraid of Liz.
No,
she was away for a year.
I'll punch you in the face. I was like, ooh, we're back at reform school days.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This girl had a rough life. She had it rough. She's not afraid. That's why she went right in her face, and she's not afraid of anything. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. If anyone's been through a lot, it's her.
Yeah, I know. I know you like her. I'm not sure about her yet.
You don't have to. We I
don't know how I feel about her.
We can agree to disagree. I happen to really like her. And
I think have trouble if you like Jo Ellen and Liz. You're gonna see.
I know, but here's the problem, and I think everyone
I'd side with Liz because she gave you $100. No, I'm kidding.
Now, listen, let me explain something to you. I don't take on anyone's enemies. I think everyone understands that now at this point. I'm allowed to like Liz, and I could like Joellen and Alicia. Not one person on this earth has ever told me what to do, including my mother or my father or any husbands or boyfriends. I've never been told what to do.
No,
ever.
You're not to be
No.
trifled with, young lady.
So if anyone, wants to bring up Liz or whatever, Liz was very kind to me, very respectful of me, and still is. Now, Joellen, I reached out to Joellen. We had a couple cute DMs. I like Joellen a lot.
She better go on your show. You're very nice to her.
Yeah, I really like Joellen. So let's see the rest of it play out. But no one's going to, if anybody changes their mind, it's going to, because I change my mind and what I see, Well,
you changed your mind on Teresa today, so we should get some juice now.
Well, my mind was changed a while ago. It's just that I didn't feel the need to do anything. But now since they're going to take Kim D down, it made my day. I mean, look at me. Look what happened after they did that.
You lit up.
My hair is done. Makeup.
Wow, lit up. Wow.
I'm glowing. I got my light on. I'm glowing.
What it is? It's the freedom. You've been unmuzzled. Let's just call it.
Unmuzzled.
And on that note, you guys, I have to jump because I got to take my son to dinner.
I gotta go see what the girl bought on my Poshmark. Pack it up and go deliver it.
Woo, woo. Go to Kim's Poshmark. Okay,
bye,
you guys.
Poshmark. Bye, Kim D. Bye.
Bye.